high 67. That's your WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
2-pitch. Got him! Jeff Hoffman strikes out Cody Bellinger, and the Blue Jays have done it. They have knocked off the New York Yankees. They have won their first playoff series since 2016, and they are going to the American League Championship Series.
Detroit has forced a Game 5. Pete Crow Armstrong delivers with a base hit to right. That'll score 2, and the Cubs have the lead in Game 3.
Run fourth, and now Schwarber, a high towering fly ball. That one is deep. Hernandez will watch it fly. It's another bomb. Kyle Schwarber has done it again, and the Phillies have busted it wide open here in the 8th.
Oh, boy, getting serious with the baseball playoffs now. Blue Jays are in the ALCS. The Fighting Phils are fighting back against the Dodgers. You got the Mariners and the Tigers keep going. The Brewers and the Cubs are still playing. Holy smokes, high drama in Major League Baseball. Of course, there's always high drama around our NFL team, and I say NFL team loosely. Another day, another trade. If you were asleep last night, Greg Newsome traded pretty much for Tyson Campbell. There was some late draft pick swaps in there. And the teardown continues for the Browns. Gabriel versus Rodgers on Sunday. We got Mount Union at Wilmington Saturday, 3:35. Today, Geoff, Dartt, head football coach, the Purple Raiders, will be on the program. We'll talk high school football with you as well. We'll break down some of the big games for Week 8. We'll talk a little top 25 college football. We got On This Day in Sports History. We have our 3-question Thursday quiz. And another school in the area has stepped up with a new list of stadium rules if you are attending a football game. All that coming up here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Of course, on the live stream, AM 1310 WDPN.com. Check us out on Facebook, X, and you can watch and listen and drop your comments on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. And if you're watching today on any of our live links, our live streams, hit that link. It says Talk Here with Sam. Pop that link there. We'll get you right into the studio virtually, if you will, and we can have a little discussion there. Always appreciate that. Want to shout out my guy Drew and the crew at the AWP Safety. They'll be bringing us the Sam Bourquin Show tomorrow from West Branch, beginning at 3 o'clock as we get you ready for the Warriors and the Aviators here on the Big 1310. Now, we will get to all of this stuff, but I want to bring in from the newsroom, 1310 WDPN, Jeff Mears, a wild situation today in North Canton on Apple Grove. There was an active shooter. Of course, there was a lot of stuff going on all over the internet. We got the facts here. Shout out to Jordan Miller from Jordan Miller News. Did a great job covering that as well. And, of course, Clint and Geoff here back at the ranch. Jeffrey, what a scene today. Pretty much lockdown on Apple Grove. Hoover was locked down. Wall Street was locked down. North Canton, St. Paul was on lockdown. There was an active shooter in an apartment complex. And I'll kind of let you take it from there and get everybody updated with what happened and what the present situation is now.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of new information to share at this point, but what we know is this at this point, that there was shooting reportedly occurred at the Versailles Garden Apartments. That's near the intersection of Apple Grove and North Main in North Canton. This happened sometime Roughly 8:45 this morning, thereabouts. They're rough in that general neighborhood. Safety alert was issued by authorities at 9:20. People from nearby residences were evacuated or otherwise told to shelter in place. And as you pointed out, North Canton City Schools and Walsh University, they had lockdowns in place there for a time as well. And in essence, what ended up happening here, what North Canton police are reporting to us, is that the suspect in question here, that we don't have the identity on, by the way, but this person was apparently shooting through the walls of a nearby apartment, and one person, a woman in another apartment, was hit by the gunfire. Now, they were this particular victim was taken to local hospital for treatment. We don't have any update on their condition, but presumably undergoing treatment at this hour.
Yeah,
so
we
pass
do know,
pass that along.
Yeah, prayers for we do know that they're in surgery right now, and so we're praying for them. And that's I also not heard. I saw Jordan Miller. 50 shots were fired.
Yeah, multiple upon multiple shots. Yeah,
and I'm thinking about that because I familiar with this property, the Versailles Gardens apartment complex. Very familiar with it. And for somebody to just unload 50 shots of ammunition, I mean, it's a miracle somebody else didn't get hurt or something worse. I mean, it could have been a whole lot worse.
Perhaps one of those situations where if it had happened in a half hour, an hour earlier, when people were still getting ready to go to work, there might have been more people potentially in the zone, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Our good buddy Ryan Brailer checking in says, Sam, I was working a quarter mile away from the incident. Our crew had to leave the area. It was kind of wild. Yeah.
And to give you an idea, just how lengthy the process was in terms of for the police in order to get a handle of the situation and call the suspect in and just get some understanding of injuries, potential injuries, whatever. This went on for some time because, as we mentioned, that I believe I misspoke there earlier, was a shelter-in-place order at Walsh University. However, there was a soft lockdown at North Canton City Schools.
Right.
Walsh didn't issue an all-clear until just a little after 10 this morning. So for about a better part of an hour there, you kind of had this situation where getting in and out of that area was just about impossible.
Yeah, because I had happened to be out in the vicinity, and first of all, you hear all these sirens, and you see all these police and sheriff, and what is going on? And then the what do they call it? To keep people off the street, keep them out of the way. The roadblocks were being put up, and it was just, and all of a sudden my phone just starts going wild. I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. Holy smokes. I'm not that far from it, but I'm close enough to where, traffic was being impacted, going every which direction. And then I started getting some more information on it, and I thought, holy smokes, I hope everything's okay. But,
and of course, it should be pointed out that Versailles Garden, not very far from St. Luke's there, just within sight there on Apple Grove. So undoubtedly concerns for anybody there. I mean, because you're not exactly across the road, but
close enough.
Close enough.
And when you hear active shooter, I mean,
yeah. What thoughts go through your mind when you hear that? All sorts of bad things.
And until they're apprehended, you're to understand or believe that they're possibly still out there, and you're like, okay, this is pretty serious stuff. So, yeah, that particular area there, very, very familiar with it. That's just, and then once you see the photograph of the apartment building and the complex and how it's laid out, you're like, wow, and it really kind of resonates a little bit.
I know the area well myself. For a couple of years, I lived the other end of Apple Grove at Inglewood Manor, there at Market.
You're kidding me. My grandparents lived there.
When I first moved to the area.
Yeah. They lived there for a long time. It was, matter of fact, it was 800 Inglewood, which is like you could get it off of Markley or Market Avenue. But we used to go visit them all the time. So yeah, that was right at the other end of Apple Grove there. So a very dangerous situation today. Thank goodness. Again, we're hoping and praying, and all our prayers going out to the victim. Last we heard, in surgery. Hopefully, they're going to be okay, and hopefully, I just want justice to be done for the person who did it. I'll just leave it at that. All right, Jeffrey, thank you so much. I know you've been a busy news hawk today, so good job, and we'll be in touch, I'm sure.
Let's hear more about the stadium at Wilmington.
I know you're dying to hear about that, aren't you? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. There he goes. Geoff Mears from the 1310 WDPN newsroom with all the latest on the shooting today in North Canton on Apple Grove. And again, thanks to Geoff. Thanks to Clint doing a great job. Jordan Miller News, great job today. And that's the absolute latest on that situation there. Could have been a whole lot worse. Thank goodness it was not. Okay. We are coming up on 20 minutes after the hour. I think this is a good time to slide a break in. When we get back, we'll kind of reset the table for what's going to be on the program today. We'll get you right into the 3-question Thursday quiz. More on the trade between the Browns and Jaguars. Tyson Campbell coming to Cleveland. Greg Newsome is leaving Cleveland. We will talk about Dylan Gabriel squaring off against Aaron Rodgers. We've got Tommy Reese, Browns offensive coordinator, some of his press conference with the media earlier today. Don't forget Jeff Dart's coming up at 3:35. Oh, I did want to remind everybody, our sports handicapper, Ross Benjamin from wagertalk.com, he is still out. He's been battling some health problems, had to have emergency surgery this week. I don't think he would mind me telling you, but he thinks that everything goes okay and he can get caught up and get a little bit stronger. He'll be back with us next Thursday at 4:35 to break down the college and pro games that he so eloquently does. So shout out to Ross Benjamin. We got some prayers out for my man today as well. But he'll be back with us, hopefully, if all goes well, next Thursday. So we'll step out. We'll come back. We'll reset it. We'll get going here on the Sam Bourquin Show on a beautiful Thursday here in the Carnation City. AM 1310 WDPN.
Join us this Saturday on AM 1310 for college football as the University of Mount Union takes on Wilmington College at 1:30. Sam Bourquin will have the play-by-play call for you. Hear all the live action here on AM 1310 and streaming live on Q92 Radio Sports Network. Kickoff at 1:30 as the Wilmington College Quakers take on the Mount Union Purple Raiders. Fall is here at Geoff's Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping. Fall is a great time to plant perennial trees and shrubs, on sale now at Geoff's in Alliance. That's right, don't wait. Get there now for the best selection. Plant now for a beautiful spring bloom. Get those fall annuals planted. Geoff's has an excellent selection of plants to create that spectacular color in all your flower beds, all spring and summer long. Check out the discounts in the gift shop, too, and get great ideas for fall decorating. The store is filled with lots of fall inspiration. Get to Geoff's Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping at the corner of Beach and Beechwood, just a mile south of Route 62 in Alliance. Fall starts at Geoff's.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
All right, thanks to Jeff Mears from the 1310 WDPN newsroom for hopping in today, getting us all caught up with what happened earlier today with all the wild stuff going on at North Kent, Apple Grove, and the shooting. And anything else comes available as far as information, we'll pass it along to you. The suspect is in custody, and that is good. All right, the text line is open, 330-924-7088. Again, text line open, 330-924-7088. You can drop your comments on our Q92 radio page on YouTube. Make sure you head there and check that out. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button as well. All right, Major League Baseball today. 2 games. Game 4, Dodgers-Phillies. That's at 6 o'clock tonight. Why would you have the Dodgers and Phillies in Los Angeles play at 6 o'clock Eastern time? And you've got the Cubs and Brewers playing at 9 in Chicago. Both of these are game 4. Dodgers lead series 2-1. Brewers lead their series 2-1. Why would you do that? Why would you not play the Cubs and Brewers at 6? And the Dodgers and Phillies at 9 out west. Hey, I'm just reading the information. NFL tonight, Eagles and Giants. That's kind of a stinker. 8:15, and that, of course, is on Amazon Prime. Bulls and Cavaliers tonight, 8 o'clock, the second preseason game for the Cavaliers. And ironically, it's against the Bulls, whom they played at home a couple of nights ago up at Rocket Arena. All right, let's get you into the 3-question Thursday quiz. Lots of folks are weighing in on this as well, and we invite you to do that via the text line, 330-924-7088, or you can drop those comments on both of my Facebook pages if you would like to do that, or anywhere on the 1310 WDPN social media places today. All right, 3-question Thursday. Number 1. Which high school football game are you heading to tomorrow night? Couple of big ones. Which one are you going to tomorrow night? Question number 2. Are the Cleveland Browns in full tank mode? This is week 6 of the National Football League. And I've got to ask that question. Are the Cleveland Browns in full tank mode? Question number 3, what item is at the very top of your bucket list? We all got a bucket list. And usually if we're talking about a list, there's multiple items. I want you to go all the way to the top of your bucket list. What's the item at the very top that you want to handle? All right, there's your 3-question Thursday quiz. Get those comments in. Or you can text them at 330-924-7088. Peggy says, I'll be listening to the McKinley game on Friday. Her bucket list is Peace on Earth or a Cleveland World Series championship. I like it. Doug says he'll be attending McKinley at Lake. He says the Browns have been in full tank mode since 1999. Top of his bucket list, visiting Normandy, France. George, no high school football for George on Friday. He says if the Browns aren't in tank mode, they should be. And the top of his bucket list, keep his health good. Jim says he'll be checking out the Louisville Green game on Friday. He says, I don't think trading Newsom was a bad thing. Just get rid of these defensive holding penalties. On the top of his bucket list is winning the lottery. John up in Barberton says he'll be checking out Archbishop Hoban and Cleveland Glenville. Ooh, that'll be a good one at Dowd Field up in Akron. I like Hoban there. By a little bit. Hoban by a little bit. He says, yes, the Browns are in full tank mode. The top of his bucket list is to visit Slovakia. Kim down in Texas, she says, skipping high school football this week. She says the Browns are having a sale again. So, yeah, they're tanking. On her bucket list, the top thing to do, swim from Alcatraz. All right, Kim. She could do it, too. You know what Kim does every Sunday? You should check her out on Facebook. Or I think she's on TikTok, too. Now, she lives in Texas. I believe it's in the Lubbock area, I think, around Texas Tech. Anyhow, it appears she has a pool in the backyard, like a little pool patio kind of deal. And every Sunday, she takes a video of herself taking a Cleveland Browns flag, saying about 30 or 40 seconds worth of words before the Browns play, and she takes it and she plants it. And she ends it with something like "Go Browns" or whatever. But it's pretty cool. I look forward to watching that every Sunday morning. Pretty good stuff. Thomas says, no high school football for me this weekend. It's too dangerous. Let's see here. Browns are in full tank mode before the season started. I agree. I said it before the season started.
We have somebody join the chat to comment. He said, I will be attending fight night at Maslin on Friday. The Browns should be tanking, and my bucket list is a Mount Union title in Canton this January.
Okay.
So, Purple Suit, thank you for coming in to hang out. If you want to talk to Sam, you just have to unmute your mic, but we will have an interview after the break. So,
Purple Suit, yeah, we got Geoff Dartt coming up. Purple Suit,
yeah. I'm assuming
today.
I realized he's probably just here to watch Coach Dartt in action in the interview.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, we like that.
And hey, you know what? That's fine.
Purple suit, I like that.
Yeah,
I could never pull that off wearing a purple suit.
Oh no,
but I think the screen name is perfect. Let's see here. We got time for one more. Ron says, no high school football for me this weekend. Probably next Friday. Are the Browns in tank mode? No. Every other team is 1-4. The top of his bucket list, go to Italy. Good stuff. Keep those things coming on my Facebook page, fan page, personal page. You can drop them off on all of our social media platforms, 1310 WDPN, and, of course, on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. We're going to take a break. News and weather coming up on the other side. Speaking of purple, we'll check in with our guy, head football coach of the Purple Raiders of the University of Mount Union, Geoff Dartt, will join us on the Sam Bourquin Show. Let's hang out here on a Thursday, 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. Israel and Hamas have agreed to a pause in their devastating two-year war and the release of the remaining hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. The breakthrough was greeted with joy and relief today, but also caution. Uncertainty remains about some of the thornier aspects of the broader peace plan advanced by the Trump administration. Those include whether and how Hamas will disarm and who will govern Gaza. Fighting has killed tens of thousands of Palestinians and reduced much of Gaza to rubble. President Trump is taking a victory lap at the White House today after the tentative acceptance of the ceasefire deal. It still needs final approval from the Israelis. There's no word yet on whether the parties would agree to a phase 2, which would address long-term plans for Gaza. At the White House cabinet meeting, Trump wouldn't go into any details about the negotiations for that phase. When asked by ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce, more from ABC's Karen Travers.
Mary Bruce, our colleague, asked some really important questions there because we heard the president talking about what phase 1 looks like. And we knew that because, of course, he announces with great fanfare last night. And the focus, of course, has been on the hostages getting released, which he said would be Monday or Tuesday. But Mary pushed him on what comes next in phase 2, because that right now is unknown and that could be complicated and that could take a long time. And we've seen negotiations before get through a phase 1 where some hostages have been released only to see things fall apart in a phase 2.
The state of Illinois is urging a judge to order the National Guard to stand down in the Chicago area. The state calls the deployment a constitutional crisis and suggests that President Trump's administration gave no heed to the pending legal challenge. Federal Judge April Perry is hearing arguments today. Members of the National Guard arrived Monday. Some are stationed at a Chicago area immigration building. A Justice Department lawyer says the Chicago area was rife with what they described as tragic lawlessness. He noted an incident last weekend in which a Border Patrol vehicle was boxed in and a woman was shot by an agent. Tesla is now facing a new investigation into its semi-autonomous driving technology. ABC's Mike Dubusky has more.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is now investigating Tesla's full self-driving technology, which the company says allows its cars to drive themselves under certain conditions. But the agency now says they've received 18 complaints of Teslas driving through red lights or into oncoming traffic, resulting in several injuries.
The investigation is expected to focus on whether Tesla drivers had enough time to respond to the system's errors and whether the cars alerted drivers. It's 60 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Geoff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast calling for sunny skies this afternoon, a high of 61. Patchy frost overnight, otherwise clear, low 36. Areas of frost early Friday, sunny, a high 67. For Saturday, a 20% chance of showers in the afternoon, mostly sunny, a high 68. Sunday, a 50% chance of rain, partly sunny, a high 67. That's your WDPN weather.
AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Text line is open, 330-924-7088. You can also drop your comments on the Q92 radio page on YouTube and watch and listen to us on X, on Facebook, 1310 WDPN. Hey, we got a big night of high school football coming your way tomorrow night here on WDPN. Boy, we got one of the biggest matchups in Northeast Ohio. Fired up about this one. Alliance 6-1 at 6-1 West Branch. Tomorrow night at 7, Caleb Norick will join me for the play-by-play, 1310 WDPN. Q92 Radio tomorrow night. We've got an outstanding game. We've got 5 games on Q92radiosports.com. So a total of 7 games tomorrow night, and the fun begins at 6:30. I'll also be doing my show live tomorrow from Clinton Heacock Stadium in Beloit as we get you ready for the Aviators and the Warriors. All right. Now, so we'll be there. We'll be in Beloit on Friday night. And then Saturday, rise and shine on the road. Wilmington, here we come. As the Purple Raiders of Mount Union will be on the road to take on the Wilmington Quakers. We'll have the action 1:30. On Saturday afternoon, 1310, let's bring in the head football coach of the Purple Raiders of the University of Mount Union, and of course, is Geoff Dartt. Coach Geoff, how you doing this afternoon?
Great, doing great. Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, you got it. Love having you here every Thursday to talk about the week before and to look ahead and see what's going on in the world of the Purple Raider football. Just a couple of quick ones from last week. I thought you guys were locked in when you came out of the locker room there in the second half against Otterbein, and I imagine you're pretty happy and pretty proud with the way you, after the guys, you probably challenged them a little bit during the break, but they came out and they played some really good football for you.
Yeah, definitely finished in the second half, so really happy with that. Got off to a pretty good start in the first half. Unfortunately, we made a bad decision, and we roughed the punter, which, kind of took the wind out of the sails of that first half. But he came right back and recovered the onside kick to start the second half. So definitely corrected himself there. But yeah, played really good in the second half, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And we've had a great week of practice so far. Looking forward to going down to Wilmington this weekend.
I gotta say, any chance you've got that hoodie on in a 3XT?
Maybe. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, maybe a 4, Coach. I'm not sure. I like stuff really big. For this Saturday, this is, I believe, this will be the furthest trip that you guys make in the regular season, anyhow.
Yes.
What does the day look like? What time does the alarm go off? What are the all the instructions? When to get on the bus? How long the trip? Little stop along the way. What's the game plan look like for Saturday?
Yeah, so we'll send half of the dress list down Friday, so they get down there, get some good rest.
Okay.
Normally, it's a little bit maybe over the 2 deep. And then the rest of us will come down Saturday morning. So I think departure for that is around 6:45 a.m. So early, but long trip. They'll bring all their pillows and blankets, and they can get some rest on the way down.
Yeah, that is a long trip. But once you get there, stretch your legs out a little bit, get loose, get the juices going. You guys will be in good shape. Coach, if you could, maybe a little progress report so far. We'll start with the offensive unit, and we'll flip it over to the other side. Then we'll go to special teams. But we talked about Mikey last week. Of course, Darnell has been playing really well. Your receiving core has been outstanding. What has really stood out to you here in the first month of the season?
Yeah, that's a great question. From an offensive standpoint, really proud how we've adjusted up front on the offensive line. We've been battling a couple injuries there, and some young guys have stepped up into that role. Obviously Mikey is dynamic, and we talked about that before, but I think not just Darnell, but the whole running back room. I think they're really, really good in terms of what we asked them to do in the run game, and then, pass protection, protecting the quarterback. They've done a great job there. And then, the one group that has really stood out and had some great development this year is the tight end group. Wyatt Steele and Matt Anderson are the two guys that get most of the reps there, but their willingness to block, right, and then get their opportunities in the pass game, they've definitely executed great in that way. So, but yeah, we're excited for another opportunity to work together and get better.
I know it usually probably goes game by game, situation by situation. I don't know if I asked you this before. Maybe it was somebody, maybe in the high school coaching level. But as far as your playbook is concerned, how do you like to approach how deep you go into that as the season moves along? Is there a plan there, or just team by team, let it fly?
Yeah, there's always a plan. Obviously, depending on what the opponent is showing you in terms of what they're doing on defense, specifically, what do we have to do as coaches to put our players at an advantage so they can go out and execute efficiently? So that changes obviously from week to week, like I said. But, we have our foundational plays that, we want to be able to own and execute week to week.
Do you ever would you ever have had a conversation with the quarterbacks before, or Mikey this year, going into a game against a certain opponent, game plan? And I know you guys watch a ton of film and try to break things down. And do you have conversations with maybe your QB and say, hey, what would you like to do here? Do you see something you might want to work on this week? Is there a couple of plays you might want to take a look at? Does that come into the process?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. You have to be able to empower your players. They're the ones that are going to be out on the field making the plays. So, in fact, the last two meetings, normally I meet with the offensive line and the running backs, and, we were going over a couple things in the run game and in pass protection, and just in terms of what do you guys feel comfortable with, right? Because if they don't feel comfortable, then they're not going to be confident in terms of, doing their jobs at a high rate. So yes, that's definitely a conversation that is had throughout the week, even out at practice when, we want to go a little bit quicker, but yeah, to have them have a voice is extremely important.
Has there ever been a situation where, as coaches, you've seen everything, you're ready to roll, and then maybe Mikey or somebody says, "Hey, what about?" Do sometimes players see and maybe feel something maybe that the staff didn't for some reason?
Yeah, I can't speak to that specifically, but I think everyone sees the game a little bit differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in their own way, and that's not a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think so. But like I mentioned, to empower our student athletes, that they're allowed to give feedback in terms of what they like, what maybe they don't like, and to get them to feel more comfortable in order to execute efficiently. You have to be able to do that as a coach.
Yeah, and the reason I ask is, I mean, through the eyes of a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old, as opposed to a guy who's been on the staff for yourself, a head coach for years, you probably do see things a little bit differently, and you can probably pick up on stuff and kind of go with that. Speaking of film study, I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. How has film study changed over the years?
Well, obviously, from a technology standpoint, a whole lot. When Coach Karras comes in here and he talks about clip and film and all of that, he's got some great stories there. But yeah, I think just overall, I think it's your access to film, not only your film or the opponent that you're playing, but access to film from all over college football, all over the NFL. So I think that obviously generates ideas for what you want to do on offense, defense, and special teams. And, football's been around for quite some time. It's a copycat world, right?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever the, flavor is for a season or a week, I think that you're going to see different variations of that across the board of all levels of football.
Head coach of the Purple Raiders of the University of Mount Union, Geoff Dartt, is our guest. Coach is with us every Thursday, 3:35, right here on the show, 1310 WDPN. We will be in Wilmington Saturday at 1:30 as the Raiders take on the Wilmington Quakers. And again, that'll be at 1:30 on Saturday here on 1310 WDPN. Coach, another huge impact by one of the guys that you brought in, linebacker Gavin Earhart.
Mm-hmm.
10, 11 tackles last week.
Yeah.
And man, he was getting after it last Saturday.
Yeah. Another guy that's obviously taking advantage of his opportunities, and he's only gotten better and better. Came to us in the spring. Definitely got to give a shout out to Coach Mike Elder. Also a Mount Union Purple Raider. So Gavin kind of went the route of playing baseball in college. Didn't work out for him. Kind of glad that it didn't work out for him, because now he's here with us. But yeah, really excited. He's a guy that just goes about his business every single day with intent. And, obviously we're seeing the benefits of that right now.
Speaking of recruiting, and whether it's the high school route or you're going to try to find a couple guys that maybe they're in a situation they want to come somewhere else, and Mount Union is the perfect place for them to go, and you guys can come together and kind of make something like that happen. When you recruit kids out of high school, are you the type of coach that really loves the fact when guys are playing multiple sports, or do you just want them to kind of zone in on football? What are you looking for? What's your philosophy there?
No, I love multi-sport guys.
Okay.
I mean, I played 3 high school sports. Many of the guys on our coaching staff played multiple sports in high school. That's not to say that if you individualize what you're doing, I just think, you kind of, you're able to be coached by different people, different coaches, obviously be around different teammates. Agility is something that I think shows up in any sport that you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think just some of the skills that you might learn from one sport to another, are critical in your athletic development. And then when you move on to the college level, I think that's a little bit more difficult. But, we've had many guys over the years do football and track, whether they're running or throwing, and then a few baseball players here and there.
Yeah, that's it's hard to do in college, because you're kind of married to that particular sport. Once you get there at that level, it takes a real special student athlete to be able to pull that up. But there are some, and the some that do it at a high level. It's kind of fun to watch. Geoff Dartt is our guest, head football coach of the Purple Raiders here on 1310 WDPN. Want to circle back to Mikey Maloney just for a second, and I remember reading the stat during the game. Our guy Nate Larisha had it as part of the game notes. I said, I'm gonna drop this in here right now. Well over 100 attempts, no interceptions. I mean, he is locked in. He is dialed in. Obviously, he is great at doing the progression thing. Is that one of the strong suits of Mikey?
Well, I hope you didn't jinx him.
I know.
First of all,
I shouldn't have said it. I did.
Yeah, no. I mean, Junior Collins is now calling the plays. I think he's done an excellent job connecting with Mikey, and also the receivers, and obviously those guys are always in the film room together, communicating with one another. So the little tweaks and adjustments that are made on a weekly basis and per practice has obviously shown up, right? So we definitely want to continue to do what we're doing there. But yeah, I can't say enough about obviously the quarterback group and the wide receiver group being on the same page with one another.
Coach, how do you guys usually finish up a practice at Mount Union? Everybody come in, you got a little chant. Do you make them run a little bit before you send them home? How do you usually finish things out?
Yeah, so we don't necessarily condition. We try to be pretty active throughout the course of practice. I think that's really the only way to prepare yourself for football is by playing football. Then at the end we'll come together as a team. I might make a few announcements. I'm not a big rah guy, pregame in the locker room or really after practice. If I have something that I need to address, I'll address it. And then, we split into position groups, little communication there. And then we let the guys go get a shower and dinner. So, we can meet with them usually about, hour and 10 minutes after practice. We get right back in the film room.
Very good. All right, Coach, it's a 3-question Thursday quiz here on the show. I'm only going to ask you the third one because the first two probably don't apply because you probably won't be going to a high school game on Friday and probably don't want to talk.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe we're all
my daughter has a practice swim meet at the Louisville Y. So
okay.
I'm not too sure how late that will run, but I'll definitely attend that. And then I'd like to go see the game over in West Branch.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, come on up and say hello if you're up there. At least knock on the window.
Okay.
We'll be there. All right. So your question today, everybody has a bucket list, right? What's at the top of Coach Geoff Dartt's bucket list?
Just in generally speaking?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Place you want to go, something you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the tradition here at Mount Union is to win a national championship, and I want that more so for our players and for our assistant coaches that do all the hard work in terms of preparation and everything. So, yeah. So that from a football standpoint, okay. I mean, bucket list overall, I don't know. I think I mentioned this last week that I have the best job in the world, which I do, living about a mile away from campus. So I'm a pretty simple guy. So I'm pretty happy.
You don't want to go to Antarctica or something like that?
No.
Okay.
No, I definitely don't want to go to Antarctica. Maybe my bucket list would, and if my wife ends up seeing this, she'll probably not be happy with it. But maybe not making a Disney trip every year. Yeah, that would be.
Coach,
no, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna help you out here. I just saw an article yesterday. It is $209 a ticket now to get into the Magic Kingdom per person.
Yeah, I know. We went last year. We actually drove down there.
No.
So And it's obviously it's all about the kids, but
sure, of course,
yeah. So I don't know if she'll see this or whatever, but I do love her, and she's got a birthday coming up. So I was just joking in terms of what I was saying.
All right. Well, if that's in the cards, make sure you get the fast pass. All right. Coach, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Safe travels to the crew down to Wilmington, and we'll see you on Saturday afternoon.
All right. Thanks. Go Raiders.
There he goes. Geoff Dartt, head football coach of the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. Yeah, Disney. Whew. We've done that a couple times. I think we're going to do it one more. That's it. Done. It's over. No more ears. It's over. We're going to take a break. 7 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Sam Bourquin Show. AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
I want you to imagine for a moment you're in a hospital. You are the patient connected to an IV bag. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, endless pokes, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine experiencing all of these things and you're only a child. This is why Starlight exists, to bring happiness to hospitalized children through programs that help kids cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Programs like gaming, virtual reality headsets, toy deliveries, radio flyer wagons, and cozy hospital gowns are just a few of the ways Starlight eases a child's hospital stay. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Welcome back, 1310 WDPN. It is the Sam Bourquin Show. Oh, come on, Mikey Maloney. Don't you throw an interception on Saturday. I'll never hear the end of it. He'll be all right. He'll be good. 1:30 Saturday, Wilmington and Mount Union down in Wilmington. 1310 WDPN, myself and Ryan Bevere will bring you the play-by-play at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope it doesn't rain. Remember, we're going to be on the roof. Rain, go away, stay away, whatever. 3-question Thursday today here on the show. Question number 1, which high school football game will you be attending on Friday night? Question number 2, do you think the Browns are in full tank mode? Question number 3, what's at the very top of your bucket list? Text it in. 330-924-7088. Drop your comments on our social media platforms. Check me out on both of my Facebook pages, and you can leave your answers there. Top of your bucket list. That's probably the favorite question. Those are the answers that I'm really interested in. John wants to go to Slovakia. Jim wants to win the lottery. I love Kim's. She wants to swim home, or she wants to swim from Alcatraz. I think that's awesome. Ron wants to go to Italy. Doug says, go to Italy one day and drive a Ferrari around the country. Oh, heck yeah, man. Joe wants to go to Vegas and hit the lottery. He'll also be attending Perry North Canton Friday. Question about the Browns in tank mode. He says only God knows that. Brett says no high school football for him. Are the Browns in tank mode? He says, when aren't they? On his bucket list, top thing on his bucket list, go to Blackwater Falls, West Virginia, and see the leaves change color. Heck yeah, I'm on board with that too. Love the changing of the colors of the leaves, the fall foliage, if you will. We are a couple of minutes away, about 3 minutes away, top of the hour news and weather with Geoff Mears. We'll get you caught up with what's going on in your world. Again, Ross Benjamin out today, still kind of recovering a little bit. He'll be back with us next Thursday, 4:35 here from wagertalk.com. A couple of baseball games today, NFL game tonight, lots of sports. Then there was the trade last night. Not sure what time this happened. I think it was after 11 o'clock, I believe. I was scrolling, looking at, I was on the phone looking up the Phillies no, was that who played late last night? Yeah, Phillies and the Dodgers last night. And I saw the score, and I did what every phone addict does. I started scrolling. And there it was. Browns trade Greg Newsome to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm like, wait a minute. Are we still talking about the fact that these two teams made a trade the first night of the NFL draft? No, this is new. Okay, so what happened? Oh, Greg Newsome is going to the Jaguars. Tyson Campbell is coming to the Browns. Just a couple of quick numbers on the Newsome, 18 tackles this year. Tyson Campbell has 22. Neither guy has an interception. The Jags sent Tyson Campbell and a 2025 seventh-round pick to the Browns in exchange for Greg Newsome and a 2026 sixth-round pick. Browns selected Newsome with the 26th overall pick in the 21 draft out of Northwestern. He's 25 years old now, playing in his fifth-year option of his rookie contract. So he will become a free agent next March. Campbell is also in his fifth year in the league, though he signed a 4-year, $77 million extension before the 24 season. So this will be interesting financial-wise, anyhow. 34 total tackles this year, 22 solo, 6 pass breakups, a forced fumble for the Jags. So Joe Flacco was traded, Tuesday? Monday. And now Greg Newsome was traded last night. Hey, plenty of time to make another trade before the Browns play the Steelers on Sunday in Pittsburgh. Are they done? I don't think they're done moving people. I don't. Matter of fact, that's why I posed the one question today on the 3-question Thursday quiz. Do you think the Browns are in full tank mode? I absolutely believe they're in full tank mode. I think the process was put in place before the season even started. We've talked about this now. I talked about it Monday. The way that Coach Kevin Stefanski's hands, to me, appear to be tied. We played the press conference for you yesterday. It sounded like the first 5 minutes, Kevin Stefanski didn't know what the heck was going on. Like they completely blindsided him with this Joe Flacco trade. And just some of the coaching decisions that are made, the trades that have been made, the fact that they gave, there was Flacco, there was Pickett, there was Shador, there was Gabriel, all in the quarterback room. It just, this is the way you lose without it looking so obvious that you are trying to lose. And the Browns are doing it. And sometimes they don't have to try, but there are some times where they are making darn sure that there will be no wins coming here in the very near future. It's playing out right in front of our eyes. All right, news and weather coming up next here on 1310. Stay with us.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Israel's government meeting to ratify phase 1 of the U.S. peace deal to end the war in Gaza. Israel's prime minister met with his security cabinet earlier into the night for a copy of the Israel deal seen by ABC News. The ceasefire will begin as soon as the government votes to approve it. IDF forces will have 24 hours to withdraw to new development lines. Then the 72-hour window opens for the release of the remaining 48 hostages. ABC's Ian Panel is in Hostages Square in Tel Aviv, where families are waiting.
Scenes of jubilation, of relief, finally hope realized. We were here 2 days ago when we were talking about the anniversary of the war, and there were still so many doubts. In 2 years since this terrible war began, Palestinians and Israelis can finally dare hope that their long nightmare is coming to an end.
Israeli officials say all 20 living hostages will be freed on Sunday or Monday in one group. President Trump says he could travel to the region for the signing. This is ABC News.
Macy's Star Deals Week is back. It's one incredible week packed with epic savings on the best fall styles. That means luxurious 100% cashmere sweaters are now just $79.99. The latest beauty from Shiseido, Mac & More, $30 off every $150 you spend. Plus, exclusive online-only daily flash deals and so much more. It's the 1 week you really can't miss. Macy's Star Deals Week is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The Home Depot has everything you need to turn your home into a beacon of holiday cheer. So whether you're going all out or just adding a few holiday touches, we've got you covered with trees, yard decor, and more. Save time decorating with one of our easy-to-assemble pre-lit trees, or pick up a piece from our Yuletide Lane decor collection and fill your yard with holiday joy. Whatever your style, find everything to get your holidays started at the Home Depot.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Geoff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. A suspect in this morning's shooting at a North Canton apartment complex is behind bars. 38-year-old Brian Francisco was booked at the Stark County Jail on charges of felonious assault, discharging a weapon into a home or school, and inducing panic. The incident occurred around 8:50 at their Versailles Garden Apartments near Apple Grove and Main Streets. Francisco allegedly was shooting through the walls of an apartment, and a woman in a nearby unit was wounded. Police evacuated people from nearby residences or told them to shelter in place. Officers entered the victim's apartment where they found her. She was taken to a hospital. A shelter-in-place order was implemented at Walsh University and a soft lockdown in North Canton City Schools. Walsh issued an all-clear just after 10 a.m. An Alliance man accused of killing his girlfriend won't be allowed to make unaccompanied trips away from a mental hospital. Stark County Common Pleas Judge Frank Forcioni denied the request for so-called community visits by 46-year-old Jeremy Stutler and a psychiatrist. Stutler lives at North Coast Behavioral Health Care in Northfield. In 2012, he was found not guilty by reason of insanity on charges of murder, gross abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. Stutler stabbed Danette Loy and attempted to dismember her body the previous year. Loy lived at his West Oxford Street home. Forcioni concluded Stutler remains a danger to the public. Voters across Stark County will be asked to approve numerous levies in the November election. Among them is a 5-year, $4.5 million replacement tax for Canton Parks and Recreation. The current $5 million levy expires at the end of next year. The replacement would generate about $6.3 million each year, beginning in 2027. Also on the ballot are police levies in Lawrence, Lexington, Marlboro, Pike, and Plain Townships. Fire levies are before voters in Brewster, East Sparta, Lake, and Lawrence Townships, and in the Navarre-Bethlehem Joint Fire District. Other tax issues include a renewal of a senior citizens levy in Minerva. Security concerns locally and nationally are prompting new guidelines for athletic events in the West Branch School District. The rules are outlined in a district Facebook post and take effect tomorrow. They will remain in place for the remainder of this fall. Home students must sit on the home side of Hickok Stadium, and visiting students must sit on the visitor's side. Students are not allowed on the opposing side and will be asked to return to their side. Failure to comply could result in removal. Students must sit in the student section or with an adult during a game. Students can visit the concession stand or restroom, but loitering will not be permitted anywhere at the stadium. Book bags also will not be allowed into the facility or the West Branch soccer complex. Diaper bags, purses, and totes brought by adults are acceptable. Ravenna police say a crossing guard was struck by a vehicle Wednesday morning while on the job near West Elementary School. Donna Crosman was in the crosswalk at Main and Diamond Streets around 8:45. That's when an eastbound car on Main drove through a red light and hit her. She was taken to University Hospital's Portage Medical Center for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. No students were in the crosswalk at the time of the collision. The driver was cited for failing to obey traffic control devices. A shooting in Youngstown prompted 3 schools to be placed on lockdown this afternoon. They were Valley Christian School, Taft Elementary, and Cardinal Mooney High School. Youngstown and Boardman Police Departments and the SWAT team were called to the area of Southern and Rush Boulevards. One officer was reportedly shot. Their condition and details of the incident were not available. It's not clear if a suspect has been arrested. Law enforcement officials seized 3 guns, ammunition, cash, phones, and suspected fentanyl at a Youngstown home. City police and members of the Mahoning Valley Violent Crimes Task Force executed a search warrant Wednesday afternoon at a residence on Hunter Avenue on the city's south side. 25-year-old Levante Scott, 26-year-old Kewan Colpetro, and 21-year-old Kevon Mitchell were arrested and booked at the county jail on tampering with evidence charges. Scott and Colpetro are also charged with obstructing official business and possession of drug paraphernalia, respectively. All 3 are set to appear tomorrow in Youngstown Municipal Court for their arraignments. Sentencing was Wednesday for a man who admitted to his role in a Youngstown shooting. 25-year-old Marquise Hopkins pleaded guilty last month in Mahoning County Common Police Court to 1 count of felonious assault. He shot at a man on East Dewey Avenue on the city's south side in May 2024. The victim was grazed in the hip. He told police the shooting occurred after he and Hopkins argued on Facebook. Judge Maureen Sweeney sentenced Hopkins to 5 to 7 years in prison. The Trumbull County Grand Jury will consider issuing an indictment for a suspect in a fatal hit-skip accident in Niles. 63-year-old Wayne Keeley of Warren Township appeared for a preliminary hearing in Niles Municipal Court Wednesday. His case was bound over. Tuesday, Keeley pleaded not guilty to charges of vehicular manslaughter and leaving the scene of an accident. His truck allegedly hit 67-year-old Brenda Hibbard at 5th Street and Indiana Avenue Saturday night. She died of her injuries. Police say Keeley told officers he fell asleep driving home from work and panicked after the crash. He's being held in the county jail on $1 million bond. A man is in custody after reportedly entering a Niles home with a gun. A 19-year-old woman told police 22-year-old Tredarius McClendon entered early Wednesday and searched the house for other people. He is the father of the woman's 2 daughters and allegedly fired a shot as he drove away. Police spotted his vehicle at a Route 422 gas station. McClendon allegedly led officers on a chase into Warren, which ended when he pulled into a driveway on Foster Drive and fled on foot. He was found in a retention pond at Trumbull Country Club. McClendon was charged with counts of domestic violence, burglary, aggravated menacing, and failure to comply. It's 60 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Geoff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
This afternoon's forecast calling for sunshine with a high of 61, patchy frost overnight, clear low 36. Areas of frost early Friday, otherwise sunny, a high 67. For Saturday, a 20% chance of afternoon showers, mostly sunny, a high 68. Partly sunny Sunday, a 50% chance of showers, a high near 67. That's your WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
To pitch. Got him! Jeff Hoffman strikes out Cody Bellinger, and the Blue Jays have done it. They have knocked off the New York Yankees. They have won their first playoff series since 2016, and they are going to the American League Championship Series.
Detroit has forced a Game 5. Pete Crow Armstrong delivers with a base hit to right. That'll score 2, and the Cubs have the lead in Game 3.
Run fourth, and now Schwarber, a high towering fly ball. That one is deep. Hernandez will watch it fly. It's another bomb.
Kyle Schwarber has done it again, and the Phillies have busted it wide open here in the 8th.
And the Phillies took care of the Dodgers last night. You knew they weren't going to go out there and lose 3 in a row. Like, the Dodgers came to Philly, punked them twice in their own park. There was no way Philly was going to go out there and lose last night. I'm surprised Philly lost 2 at home. I really am. I think this thing is going to go 5. I do. I think it's going to go back to Philly. We'll see. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Beautiful day. Little cold. It's not cold out. It's a little less warm today than we have had, but the sun is out. It is beautiful. It's very comfortable, and we got great week of weather coming up through Sunday. So get out and enjoy and do what you do. Text line is open for you at 330-924-7088, and you can drop us a comment on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. A lot of you checked in on the YouTube page today. Hello, and welcome in to the program. A lot of you checking us out on Facebook and our WDPN X page. So welcome into the program. We'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. I want to thank Geoff Dartt for joining us, head football coach at the University of Mount Union. If you missed our interview, it was fun. I got to tell you. You can catch it in podcast form on our social media platforms a little bit after we end things here at 6 o'clock tonight. Okay, Greg Newsome traded to Tyson Campbell. Browns and Jags making another move. We'll get back into that here in a couple of minutes. What are you expecting on Sunday? I know a loss, but how will we lose? What are you expecting with Dylan Gabriel going up against Aaron Rodgers? Here comes the Rook out of Oregon. And there's the old grizzled veteran out of Cal, Aaron Rodgers. What a complete opposite ends of the spectrum with these two quarterbacks meeting at Acrisure Stadium on Sunday. Browns a 5.5-point dog on Sunday. Surprised the line is not a little bit higher than that. Cleveland comes in 1-4. And we knew these first 6 were going to be a gauntlet. They have proven to be so. Probably lucky that they have a win at all. The one they got against the Packers. But I'm anxious to see what Dylan Gabriel does here. What kind of plays they call for him? What kind of situations they put him in? What's the game plan? Like, we know the first 10 or 12 plays will be, Kevin Stefanski's a good play scripter, like the first 10. Sometimes things go a little wacky after that. But let's just say, that to start the game, the Browns get the ball. I'm anxious to see how Dylan Gabriel does that first series. And I got to admit, even though he's a Steeler, and even though he's just kind of hanging on a little bit, I still like watching Aaron Rodgers play. It's not quite as much fun as it used to be when he played for the Packers. I thought the deal with the Jets was kind of a disaster. And then we knew for months and months and months he was going to go to Pittsburgh, but he never would make the announcement. They would never, neither the Steelers or Aaron Rodgers would say, okay, it's a done deal. So we kind of all got a little bit sick of hearing about it. Well, if it's going to happen, let's just do it. And I still like watching him play, even at the advanced age. He doesn't scramble quite as well as he did, and I don't think he can throw the deep ball quite as well as he once did, but he's still got a pretty good arm, and he can still move around a little bit. I still like watching him play. I do. So I'll be watching that for a little bit anyhow on Sunday. Don't know how long I'll watch, but I'll watch a little bit. I'll watch the start, and we'll see what happens. Browns and Steelers 1:00 in Pittsburgh. Gabriel against Rodgers. Stefanski against Tomlin. T.J. Watt. Myles Garrett. Who do you think has more sacks on Sunday? Who do you think has more tackles? Who do you think has more tackles for loss? Who do you think makes the bigger impact? I'll go ahead and answer that question. It'll be TJ Watt. It'll be TJ Watt. You think the Browns are in tank mode? Got rid of Flacco. Got rid of Newsom. Traded Flacco, traded Newsom. Shouldn't say got rid of. They traded him. But given the circumstances that the Browns are in now, they're already 1-4. Could be looking at 1-5. Obviously, things are not going well. Doesn't seem, the Browns are big on at least throwing off the aura, the persona of everything is a collaborative effort. I don't know how much collabing that they've been doing with Kevin Stefanski. I've got some hunches that there has not been total communication between Kev and Andrew Barry and who's that guy drawing a paycheck? Oh, Paul DePodesta. I don't think there's been a lot of collabing lately. And I keep going back to that press conference yesterday. And we played it for you, I think, in the 5 o'clock hour yesterday. Might have been the 4 o'clock hour. And I actually went back and I listened to it again. Just like the first 6 minutes. I have never heard a coach sound so perplexed, surprised, / defeated at a press conference. It's like he knew nothing about the trade of Joe Flacco. Now, as crazy as that sounds, it would not surprise me if they didn't talk about it. And Andrew Barry and or Jimmy Haslam and or Paul DePodesta said, make that move. The Bengals called, you say? Make that move. Should we talk to Kevin? Just make the move. Okay, they did. It looked like he had no wind of it. Andy was also disappointed. I think Kevin and Joe had a pretty good working relationship, a pretty good friendship. Now, I'm not saying that friendships and, nepotism and you're my guy and he's your guy. That should never go over the goal of to win. But you could tell there was a little something there. Obviously, there was something there a couple years ago when Joe Flacco led him into the playoffs in that crazy second half of the year, only to have it end in Houston against the Texans. And I know Joe threw a couple of pick sixes that day, and it was not a good day. Game was over fairly early. But think of the fun everybody had the last 6-7 weeks of that season. So there was something good there with Stefanski and Joe Flacco. But I go back to that press conference, and I was telling J-Dub down the hall at our sister station, Q92, I said, go back and listen to it, but go back and watch it. Watch Kevin's reaction. Watch his face. Watch his body language. I don't think he knew about it.
No, you can see he's wearing it on his sleeve.
Yeah, Kevin
he's just defeated.
Stefanski, as much as he tries to hide things, Kevin's pretty good about not answering questions. I think this one got him. I think this one took him way off his game. And if that kind of stuff is going on in the hallways at Berea, if there's like this sneaking around kind of stuff, and okay, we're going to do this, and now don't say anything down there. We're not sure about that. That's when it all kind of falls apart. It's the infrastructure that starts coming down. The walls start coming down. And it's a deterioration from inside the hall, inside the football program. And once that happens, especially when a team is 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, could be 1-5, you watch and see how everything splinters times 10. And pretty soon, this team won't have to do anything to make it look like we're not losing on purpose. It's just kind of, it's just happening. They won't even have to put those pillars in place. They'll just be losing because of the bad culture, the structure, the anger, the disbelief. That'll take care of itself. And pretty soon, you'll get on the computer or you'll pick up a piece of paper and you look at the standings of the AFC North, and it'll say Cleveland Browns 2-10. Because pretty soon that's what it's going to look like. And not to say that they would be angry with that, because I think that's where they want to be. Again, I tried to tell everybody, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here. I tried to tell all of you, some of you, most of you, this was the plan from the get-go. That's why I told you this team was going to go 3-14, 4-13 at the top. This was part of the plan. This is how these things come to fruition. This is how these things happen.
We have a comment from Michael on YouTube that says Haslam has his eyes set on Arch Manning, even though he will be disappointed because Arch isn't either of his cousins.
Arch, and I said that too many times. I think they're all. I said at the time that the Browns were all in on Arch, and even though he has really struggled, Arch Manning has. And in my heart, I believe Arch Manning needs to stay in school at least one more year. At least one more year. Maybe two. But you know what? That Taj Mahal in Brook Park doesn't open up until 2029. That goes right into the plan. And you know the Browns, and you know Haslam. Once he gets locked into something, he's not coming off of it. So if he and his buddies have been locked in on Arch Manning since the word go, they are not coming off of that. They are not going to change their mind. So this is all part of it. What did you think was going to happen in the quarterback room this year? Did you think that anything good was going to come out of this? Having Joe Flacco in the quarterback room with Dylan Gabriel, with Shedeur Sanders, with Kenny Pickett. What did you think was going to happen? Not enough reps to go around. Not a true reading or true gauge on what somebody can do with the number ones, with the number twos. I mean, what did you honestly think was going to come of having four guys in the quarterback room? And the fact that you drafted Shedeur, which that was a Jimmy Haslam move all the way. I'll die on the hill with that. Just like I'll die on the hill that Johnny Manziel was his pick. It's all lining up for a 3-14, 4-13 season. Now, the only thing that is not going according to plan, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are not cooperating. See, they were supposed to be a 2 or 3 win team this year. Because remember, we hold their first-round draft pick. Folks, they're 4-1. They're playing some pretty good ball. Sunshine's looking pretty good at quarterback. I like that young receiver, defensive back from Colorado. What's his name again? You know, the guy that we traded the rights to. Oh, yeah, him. I like their coach. I'm not saying the Jags are going to be in the playoffs, but they're going to win enough games to where that's going to screw the Browns out of a pretty high pick in the first round to go along with the Browns' own first-round pick. So that part of the plan is kind of unfoiled a little bit. And I think the Jags are going to be about a 500 team. So that pick will be in the middle of the first round. So we'll see. But Browns fans that have had their hopes high and their expectations are going to be really disappointed, because this right here that is playing out in front of our very eyes, this is what it's going to be. This is it. So you're just going to have to grin and bear it and watch it happen and just take it for what it's worth. And, next year's another year. The year after that, another year. In the meantime, I guess you try to see what you got with Gabriel. At some point, I don't know when, but at some point, you'll see what you have with Shedeur. Heck, they might trade Shedeur Sanders at some point. They may not be done trading players, period. There's
Sam,
probably a couple guys like I could see being moved. And, for draft picks or to slash a little bit off the payroll. And, at Rainsburg, hold that thought.
Yeah,
because I want to get to you before we get to the news. I'm going to tell you what. These are all branches of the Deshaun Watson player and the Deshaun Watson financial fiasco. This is all part of it. Because look what we have to do now. It wasn't that long ago we had gazillions of dollars salary cap to use. We're still paying for it. We're still paying for it and letting guys go here and there. A couple million here, a couple million there. Oh, his contract's up next year. Okay, he'll be off the books. This was all part of the Deshaun Watson fiasco. We're still paying for it. And it's 2025. What do you got, Rainsburg?
I'm definitely tardy to the party on this one because, I've lived in Ohio but never really paid attention to Browns sports and the everything that goes along with that. And now I've got a front row seat. And by God, if they also trade Shedeur Sanders, that might be the point that I actually start getting angry about this, because that's crazy. You've put so much effort into the Shedeur Sanders boat to just ship it off.
They might.
Oh my God.
Because I don't really this is just my opinion.
I get it now.
I don't think that they believe he will ever be a starting quarterback for them. I believe that. And that's okay. Again, everybody else passed on him. And you picked him up at the 122nd pick in the 5th round. Nobody else wanted him. And for whatever reason, I don't even care what that reason was. I don't even care what it was, because I'm living in the now. I don't believe they think he can be a guy for them, even though he really hasn't had a chance. And again, I don't know what's going on behind the curtain in the film room, the study room, the playbook, the practice. I don't know what's going on there all the time. I'm not up there. I'm not allowed to be up there. I don't know. Hell, a lot of the beat writers, people that I know in the media, friends of mine, they're not allowed to be in there. They're only allowed to be in there certain times a day, and it's not very long. So who knows what's really going on, but I believe they don't think he could be the guy. Or else maybe they would have given him a chance, given him some more snaps, more reps, more time. I don't think he's part of the picture at all. You know what? Look here. 2025, by 2020, okay, 2025, draft 26, come on. By 2028, 2029, I'll say 2028. I don't think that a quarterback that's on this Browns team now will be on the team then.
No, I think that's the most infuriating part, is I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that's on this roster now at the quarterback position will be here in by 2028.
We have a comment from Purple Suit, still hanging out with us. He says Deshaun starts at least 2 games for the Browns this season, probably more.
Oh God. Well, he is due to be activated, I think, 3 weeks from today.
I mean, good God, if they keep going, he's going to be the only one left.
So
he's going to have to.
Yeah, because legally by the books, they can't bring him back until I think it's 3 weeks. But yeah, he's still lurking in the building too. What a mess! It's such a shame. Oh my gosh, it's such a shame. All right, news and weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. We'll get back into the Browns here a little bit. We'll talk a little baseball. We'll take you inside the locker room of the Toronto Blue Jays after they clinched the American League Championship Series last night. We'll get back into our 3-question Thursday quiz, and we'll look ahead to Week 8 of the high school football season. All that and more coming up on 1310.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. President Trump is taking a victory lap at the White House today after a tentative acceptance of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. It still needs final approval, but the first phase of the agreement means that dozens of hostages will be released from Gaza and the fighting would stop. At the White House cabinet meeting, Trump said he is planning to travel to the region in a couple of days.
It'll be a day of joy. I'm going to try and make a trip over. We're going to try and get over there. And we're working on the timing. The exact timing. We're going to go to Egypt, where we'll have a signing, an additional signing. We've already had a signing representing me, but we're going to have an official signing.
There's no word yet on whether the parties would agree to a second phase, which would address long-term plans for Gaza. Meanwhile, on the Senate floor today, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said the deal is welcome news.
The work is not over, but any step to end this nightmare is one that should be celebrated and carefully implemented.
Palestinians in Gaza have welcomed the news of the agreement between Israel and Hamas. Many Palestinians expressed happiness and eagerness for the killings and destruction in Gaza to end, but also feel the weight of their losses and uncertainty about the future. The war began after a deadly Hamas attack on southern Israel in 2023. The conflict has left tens of thousands of Palestinians dead and caused massive destruction in the territory. The Senate fails to advance legislation to end the government shutdown for the 7th time. There's been no sign of significant progress to ending the impasse. Lawmakers are openly venting their frustration. Groups of lawmakers have tried to brainstorm ways out of the standoff that has shuttered government offices, kept hundreds of thousands of federal employees at home, and threatened their pay, but they find themselves running up against a fundamental lack of trust in each other and President Trump. Several protesters were charged in court in Boston today after a pro-Palestinian rally turned violent earlier this week. ABC's Chuck Sievertson has more.
13 arraigned total. Boston police said some of the protesters blocked traffic, torched a cruiser, and assaulted officers. 4 police officers were injured, one getting a broken nose.
We are a city that has been built on the right to speak your mind and to peacefully protest.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu.
At the same time, we do not tolerate violence in Boston.
Charges include disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and disturbing the peace. All plead not guilty. Bail's $10,000 for each.
It's 60 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Geoff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunshine in the forecast for this afternoon with a high near 61 degrees. Patchy frost overnight, otherwise clear, low 36. Friday, areas of frost early, otherwise sunshine with a high near 67. Saturday, slight chance of showers in the afternoon, mostly sunny, a high 68, chance of rain 20%. Sunday, a 50% chance of showers, partly sunny, a high 67. That's your WDPN weather.
Join us this Friday at 7 for kickoff as the Alliance Aviators take on the West Branch Warriors. Sam Bourquin will have the live play-by-play action for you here on AM 1310 and streaming live worldwide on the Q92 Radio Sports Network. The Aviators against the Warriors this Friday here on AM 1310 WDPN.
This fall, the fear returns. Enter the Akron Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory. 2 terrifying attractions. 1 horrifying night. Face your deepest fears across 3 haunted floors of spine-chilling terror. Are you brave enough to make it out alive? Open now. Get tickets at hauntedschoolhouse.com.
Sam Bourquin Show. Welcome back, AM 1310 WDPN. I always get a kick out of the this time of year because you hear a lot of the commercials and spots for the haunted houses, which I don't go to them anymore. I would. Like, if somebody invited me to go, I would go. My wife will not go. My son, Mr. Tough Guy, years ago, when I say years ago, he's 18 now. But even when he was like 12, 13, we would go and get in line. And he wouldn't go. So we kind of quit doing that. I would go. But I love the commercial spots because there's only so much. Like, I could probably go get you a commercial for a haunted house from 1970, 1980, and you could play the same one now, and it would be the very same thing. But it would get the point across. It would get you in the mood, and you would go. I mean, how many times over the years have you heard a commercial for a haunted house? And I don't care what it is. Haunted hayride, haunted this, haunted schoolhouse, haunted laboratory, carnival of horrors. That's horrors. Haunted hayrides. Enter if you dare. Like, that's the closing line of every spot. And I still get a kick out of the whole haunted house. I would go. I love hearing the spots for them. The screams, the moaning, the music, the dark tone that's underneath. I think it's fascinating. And speaking of the haunted schoolhouse, which you just heard the commercial there for, we used to go up there all the time. Haunted schoolhouse, haunted laboratory. What is it? Triplet Avenue up in Akron, close to where the Rubber Bowl used to be, I believe. And we would go up there all the time.
Well, and then, sometimes they do the fun stuff that's not necessarily scary, where they have like zombie paintball,
right,
and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
is just fun.
They've come such a far way now with. It's not just the haunted house.
Yeah, it's like a whole experience
it's like
now.
They've got like a beer garden. They've got food. They've got little places you can watch little scary movie. They've got the paintball. They've got the haunted hay rides. They've got the, if you want to go a little less scary, they've got like other venues on site that aren't like the full blown, haunted house kind of deal. And they've come a long way because they've had to over the years, over the decades. They've changed a lot, but I think they're still fun. They've got the scary music piped in over the PA system when you're getting out of your car. I will tell you this: is there a creepier place to park a car than on the grounds of a haunted house? Because you're usually parking in the grass. It's usually not very well lit. You got the people with the, the lights, like, okay, park here, and it's creepy. Starts to get a little bit colder at night. Sometimes there's a little fog or a little mist. It's creepy parking at those places.
Well, if you watch horror movies, you're not getting attacked inside of the haunted house. It's outside the haunted house. That's where Jason's waiting for you.
Man, I'll tell you what, I am in full force with the Fear Fest on AMC.
Oh, God, I know. It's October.
October
I got to start
1st.
watching scary movies. I've been slacking.
Oh, we watched The Boogeyman last night. Dylan and I watched The Boogeyman. Wife wanted no part of it. Couple nights ago, we watched... the Halloween that came out before Halloween Kills.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Believe it or not, we had never seen. I've seen every Halloween movie under the sun, multiple, even the bad ones, like The Revenge of Michael Myers and the Resurrection. We've watched all of them, but for some reason, that one slipped through the cracks. And I think this was in 2018.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And this was the first time that you saw Laurie Strode, a.k.a., what's her name?
Is that Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, she's old. I mean, she played the part really well of the grandma. But we never saw it. I'm like, how did we not see this movie? And so we watched it the other night. And I thought, oh, and then that lines you right in to Halloween Kills. So yeah, we've been fear festing it up ever since October the 1st.
That one's silly. That's the best word I have for that one. That one had me giggling. It's very dumb.
Of course,
Good dumb,
the
but
original. Dumb. The original was the best. You'll never be better than the original Halloween.
Honestly, that's kind of my favorite part about those movies is the Jason movies. First one's great, and they
Friday
just
the 13th,
get Friday the 13th. I don't know why. They just get gradually more insane and more dumb until you get to Jason X in space.
Oh God!
And
or Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason is awesome. I'll defend that movie all day.
I mean, how many ways can you kill somebody? Driving the pliers through the back of their throat, snapping somebody's spinal column in bed, driving a shovel through their head. I mean, there's only I just named 3 of them. I guess there's a lot of ways, but like the original Halloween, great. The original Friday the 13th, outstanding. The original Nightmare on Elm Street, outstanding. And then you start doing the game of, okay, how many can we make? How many can we go? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like Scream 1, outstanding. I thought Scream 1 was one of the best horror movies I've seen. But when you get 6, 7, 8 knee deep in these things, like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, outstanding. The original Saw, outstanding.
Yeah.
But you get deep and it's like, man, where are we going with this? Like Halloween Ends may have been the dumbest one I've ever seen.
Oh, it was so dumb.
That was
Holy
dumber.
crap.
That was dumber than Halloween Kills.
Oh my God. Was that the one with like the younger guy who became like Michael Myers quintessentially? Oh my God. Don't get me started on that movie.
They really reached on the plot.
They reached everywhere in that movie.
It was bad.
They didn't grab anything with those reaches.
Oh, it was bad. But we watched it. I mean, here I am talking about how bad it was. We went and saw it. I mean, I guess I had expectations a little bit, but it was pretty bad.
Oh,
but
man.
we love the horror movies, and especially Halloween. Even up until Thanksgiving, we'll watch a lot of them. We leave our decorations up outside and inside for a good couple of months. We really enjoy. But I've got a bunch of movies that I've DVR'd. We'll blitz through those, and we'll be checking a lot of those out here the next several weeks. I think maybe when we get closer to Halloween, which is on a Friday this year.
Oh boy! Holy crap!
Yeah. We'll do a little something special on the show that day. We'll play a bunch of Halloween themed movie music. We'll talk about our favorite movies. We'll have some fun.
Get a spooky background.
Yeah, that'll be fun, because that will be will that be the 31st?
Yeah, Friday the 31st. It's the
31st,
last day of the month.
Yeah, so that'll be week 1 of the high school football playoffs. So I don't know where I'll be that Friday. Maybe I'll be here that Friday. Who knows? But we'll do a big Halloween show. Matter of fact, the week, the couple of days leading up, we'll mix in some Halloween music and stuff.
I already know what the poll question's gonna be. It's gonna be, what's your favorite scary movie?
Maybe, maybe not.
It's too easy. Be too on the nose.
We'll see. I'm gonna start sending you. Music of every horror movie known to man.
I'm sure we've got Monster Mash in the system. we have to have Monster Mash.
Yeah, we'll play that. once.
Yeah, once.
That'll be it.
I'm on board with that, Sam. Monster Mash gets played once. It deserves to get played once.
Yeah, it should always get played once, but that's about it. But yeah, we'll have some fun with Halloween the closer that it gets. How did I get on the Halloween thing? Oh, the haunted house stuff. Yeah. So yeah, go support our advertisers. Go check out the haunted schoolhouse and haunted laboratory.
Support your local high school students because that's a very popular job for high school students. All my friends worked at the Factory of Terror when I was in high school.
Factory of Terror, Forest of Screams. There's all kind of good stuff out there. Go check those out. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Text line open 330-924-7088. That's 330-924-7088. We are. Let's see here. We are in the process of putting together our McKinley-Massillon pregame show, which is going to be when is the game day? October 25th. Kickoff at 2:00. I'm not gonna say a whole bunch of stuff now until it's like in stone, but you folks are going to love our coverage that day. Whether it's on radio, which it will be, whether it's on stream, which it will be, whether it's on all of our social media platforms, which it will be. We're going to have a TikTok camera there as well. We are going to have special guests, former coaches, former players. We've got a great venue over at the Village, and this is going to be the biggest and best ever. We always talk about, hey, this is the best. No, this is going to be the biggest and best McKinley-Massillon pregame show ever. And we got a great crew on site. We're going to have a great crew back here at the station. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. So I just kind of want to plant that seed. And once more of the details come in, we'll be telling you all about it here on 1310 WDPN and, of course, Q92 and Q92radiosports.com. But mark your calendars. Obviously, we would love to see you at the ballgame. And we're hoping for great weather. And I think there's a pretty good chance McKinley could go in there 8-1. And I think there's a pretty good chance Massillon could go in 6-3. I think the Tigers will win the rest of their, the next couple games coming up. So I think it's going to be a great game at a great venue. The tailgating is going to be incredible, and our pregame show is going to be it's going to set the tone. And I can't wait. And I can't wait to tell you more about it. So make sure you're listening in or checking out all of us on our social media platforms, because you are going to be in for a treat for the McKinley-Massillon game coming up October the 25th at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Let's take a break. We got 10 minutes till the top of the hour. Text line open for you at 330-924-7088. You can drop your comments on all of our WDPN social media platforms and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. When we get back, we'll get back into the Sam Bourquin Show 3-question Thursday quiz, and we will check out a couple of the big games Friday night in high school football. All on the way. Stay with us.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
Join us this Saturday on AM 1310 for college football as the University of Mount Union takes on Wilmington College at 1:30. Sam Bourquin will have the play-by-play call for you. Hear all the live action here on AM 1310 and streaming live on Q92 Radio Sports Network. Kickoff at 1:30 as the Wilmington College Quakers take on the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
We get it almost every night. And when that moon gets a big and bright.
Welcome back. Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, streaming at AM1310WDPN.com. We've got a couple of minutes, about 5 or 6 minutes before we get you to the top of the hour with all the latest news and weather. Geoff Mears will get you caught up with what's going on in your world. 3-question Thursday quiz. Give us your comments on social media, the Facebook, what have you. You can text them in, too, at 330-924-7088. Question number 1, which high school football game are you going to on Friday? Couple of good ones. Where are you going Friday? Question 2, do you believe the Browns are in full tank mode? Question number 3, your bucket list. What's at the very top? What's at the very top of your bucket list? Let us know. I got a couple I'm going to read here, and then I'm going to throw it over to Rainsburg. He's got some of the folks chatting with us on social media. Brent says, no high school football this Friday. Browns are in tank mode. His bucket list is go. Okay. Walk to the North Pole. That's a good one. Lori says she will be checking out Kent, Roosevelt, and Highland. Question 2, sadly, the tradition continues with the Browns tanking. Top of her bucket list, finding her next career adventure. Samuel E. says Perry Hoover on his list for tomorrow. After last Sunday, he says, I don't give a bleep about the Browns anymore. I'm done this year. What's on the top of his bucket list? Elk and mule deer hunting in Montana or Colorado. Oof, okay.
That's dangerous.
There we go, Sammy. Smooter checking in, the pride of Jackson Township. He'll be at the Jackson game tomorrow night. Are the Browns in full tank mode? Yes. Top of his bucket list, get a new Buckeye tattoo. All right. One more. Walter checks in. He'll be at Salem Carrollton tomorrow night. Go Warriors. Thank you, Walter. Rainsburg, what do you got over there?
We've got Mike on Facebook who says, I'm in Iowa visiting my son who is a senior in college, so no games this week. He says Browns want a top 3 pick, and he wants to watch the Buckeyes in the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That would be fun. It'd be fun to go be there in person.
Oh, man.
Pasadena, the San Gabriel Mountains at like 6 o'clock at night. Perfect.
Perfect weather.
Perfect.
Robert on Facebook says, attending the Lake at McKinley game, and bucket list is for McKinley to beat Massillon. So I would say Robert is a McKinley fan.
Yeah. And the Bulldogs are looking, I think it's 9 years in a row. Massillon has gotten them, so they're trying to turn things around, trying to turn it around. Could be the year.
Then we had our guy, Purple Suit, who's been hanging out with us in the lobby. He threw in one more bucket list thing for us. He said, top bucket list, Sammy B, keg stand at the Stag Bowl in Canton.
Yeah, about that. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'll tell you what. I don't want to set myself up here. First of all, let's get to the Stag Bowl. Okay? Let's win the Stag Bowl, and then maybe I'll think about doing a keg stand. How's that? I will go that far.
I got to be honest with you. I don't really need much of an excuse to do a keg stand.
Well, wait till you get my age.
I'm getting there. It's getting less and less awesome of an idea in my head.
I'll tell you what, if we get to the Stag Bowl and we win it, if the Purple Raiders win it, I could probably be talked into it. I might need a little help, but I could probably be talked into it.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna. Somebody's gonna have to hold my legs up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That'll be something that we can all look forward to, or not.
Yeah. If the Purple Raiders win, Sam and I will do keg stands on TikTok.
And maybe Geoff Dartt can do play-by-play of me doing the keg stand. Wouldn't that be a hoot? Holy smokes. Sam, the Saints are shopping wide receiver Chris Olave because of their slow start. Would the Browns be interested? He's on his rookie contract, I think, still. But here's the thing, though. I think the Browns are not trying to win, so why would you want to go out and get a good receiver? That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you with your ultimate goal. Steelers defense isn't as good as it's been the past. I expect the Browns to score their usual 2 touchdowns and a field goal, but the D will hang in there until they get tired. He's got the Steelers 28, Browns 17 on Sunday. Browns again a 5.5-point dog at Acrisure Stadium against the Steelers on Sunday afternoon. We'll talk. We'll do some predictions tomorrow. That might be our fill in the blank Friday question tomorrow. Browns Steelers. See if it gets anybody whipped up into a frenzy or not. We'll see. I'm excited tomorrow night for our game. I really am. 6-1 West Branch, 6-1 Alliance. I saw West Branch, somebody from the school posted some of the newer photos of the stadium. Man, does that look beautiful. I can't wait to be over there tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the show there at 3. And I think Coach is coming up with a player around 4 o'clock tomorrow. So looking forward to that. Get you a little scoop on the Warriors and how they're taking care of business over there. And then we'll have the pregame at 6:30, and the kickoff at 7. Kayla will be joining me tomorrow at 7 for the kickoff of Alliance in West Branch. Points, and more points tomorrow night. I would be shocked. If there's not at least 80 points scored tomorrow night. I would be shocked. I think there'll be more than that. It's going to be a dry night, going to be a fast track, going to be tons of great football players out there. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Hey, if you're coming to the Alliance West Branch game tomorrow, stop up to the press box and wave. Or rap on the window. If the window's open, they'll be open. So you won't be able to knock on the window, but maybe just knock on the press box. You come up and wave. Let's shake hands and exchange greetings tomorrow. I can't wait for this game. Can't wait. So much so I've gone over the news again. Here we go. 1310 WDPN. The Sam Bourquin Show continues.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Israelis and Palestinians waiting to see if Israel's government approves phase 1 of the U.S. peace plan to end the war in Gaza. Israel's prime minister set to call a late-night vote after meeting with the security cabinet. Phase 1 includes an immediate ceasefire, the release of all remaining hostages, and a prisoner exchange, along with a partial withdrawal by Israeli troops. Here's ABC's Jordana Miller in Jerusalem.
The Israelis will begin to withdraw. They have 24 hours to redeploy to the new lines, which will mean they'll pull out from controlling about 80% of Gaza. They'll pull back to controlling about 50%, which is still a big chunk, but they will stay there as Israel in the future negotiates for phase 2.
President Trump says the hostages could be released by Monday or Tuesday. The president, though, not commenting on phase 2 talks or the future plans for Gaza and who will oversee the enclave. This is ABC News.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to see you never, AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score report dated 1H 2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Macy's Star Deals Week is back. It's one incredible week packed with epic savings on the best fall styles. That means luxurious 100% cashmere sweaters are now just $79.99. The latest beauty from Shiseido, Mac & More, $30 off every $150 you spend. Plus, exclusive online-only daily flash deals and so much more. It's the one week you really can't miss. Macy's Star Deals Week is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Geoff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. A woman has been sentenced to 4 to 6 years in prison for a fatal crash in Perry Township. 28-year-old Dejanique Sanders of Canton was served the punishment today by Stark County Common Pleas Judge Kristen Farmer. She pleaded no contest last week to charges of aggravated vehicular homicide, OVI, and endangering children. Sanders was intoxicated when she lost control of her car while headed westbound on Route 30 in June 2024. A passenger, 35-year-old Archie Stencil of Akron, was ejected and died of his injuries. Sanders' son was also ejected and seriously hurt. Her daughter was treated for minor injuries. Sanders' license was suspended for 15 years. She will spend up to 3 years on probation. A man accused in a shooting at a North Canton apartment complex faces charges of felonious assault, discharging a weapon into a home or school, and inducing panic. 38-year-old Brian Francisco was arrested after this morning's incident at the Versailles Garden Apartments at Main and Apple Grove Streets. It happened around 8:50. Francisco allegedly was shooting through the walls of an apartment when the gunfire struck the victim. Police responded to the address, entered an apartment, and discovered the woman. She was taken to a hospital for treatment. A shelter-in-place order was issued at Walsh University and a soft lockdown in North Canton City Schools. Walsh issued an all-clear just after 10 a.m. Residents were evacuated from nearby homes or told to shelter in place. Multiple levies will be on the November ballot in Stark County. Canton Parks and Recreation is asking for approval of a 5-year $4.5 million replacement tax. It would generate about $6.3 million annually beginning in 2027. The current $5 million levy expires at the end of next year. Police levies are on the ballot in Lawrence, Lexington, Marlboro, Pike, and Plain Townships. Voters are also being asked to pass fire levies in Brewster, East Sparta, Lake, and Lawrence Townships, and in the Navarre-Bethlehem Joint Fire District. Other issues include road levies in Bethlehem, Lexington, Nimishillen, and Paris Townships. The West Branch School District is implementing new rules for athletic events. In a Facebook post, the district says book bags will not be allowed into Haycock Stadium or the West Branch Soccer Complex. Diaper bags, purses, and totes brought by adults are acceptable. Home students must sit on the home side, and visiting students must sit on the visitor side of the stadium. Students are not allowed on the opposing side and will be asked to return to their side. Failure to comply could result in removal. Students must sit in the student section or with an adult during the game. Students can visit the concession stand or restroom. Loitering will not be permitted anywhere at the stadium. The guidelines take effect tomorrow and will remain in place for the remainder of this fall. They follow security concerns locally and nationally. A crossing guard for the Ravenna School District was taken to a hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries after being struck by a vehicle. Ravenna police say the incident occurred around 8:45 Wednesday morning. Donna Krosman was in the crosswalk at Main and Diamond Streets when she was hit by an eastbound car that drove through a red light on Main. No students were in the crosswalk. The driver was cited for failing to obey traffic control devices. Grossman was taken to University Hospital's Portage Medical Center. Several schools in Youngstown were on lockdown following a shooting. The Youngstown and Boardman Police Departments and the SWAT team responded to the area of Southern and Rush Boulevards this afternoon. A Youngstown officer was reportedly shot. They were taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Details of the incident were not available. It's not clear if a suspect has been arrested. Lockdowns were reported at Valley Christian School, Taft and Bunn Elementaries, Wilson Alternative, Rayan Early College Middle, and Cardinal Mooney High School. Youngstown police say 3 people were arrested when they executed a search warrant at a home on the city's south side Wednesday afternoon. Officers joined members of the Mahoning Valley Violent Crimes Task Force in the operation on Hunter Avenue. They seized 3 guns, ammunition, cash, phones, and suspected fentanyl. 25-year-old Levante Scott, 26-year-old Kiwan Colpetro, and 21-year-old Kevon Mitchell were taken to the county jail. All 3 are charged with tampering with evidence. Scott and Colpetro are also charged with obstructing official business and possession of drug paraphernalia, respectively. Their arraignments are scheduled for tomorrow in Youngstown Municipal Court. A Youngstown man was sentenced Wednesday to 5 to 7 years behind bars stemming from a shooting in the city. 25-year-old Marquise Hopkins pleaded guilty to 1 count of felonious assault last month before Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Maureen Sweeney. He admitted shooting a man in the hip on East Dewey Avenue on the city's south side. Police say the victim told them the May 2024 shooting occurred after the 2 argued on Facebook. Charges of domestic violence, burglary, aggravated menacing, and failure to comply were filed against a Niles man. 22-year-old Trudarius McClendon was arrested after leading a chase into Warren. A 19-year-old woman told officers McClendon entered her home early Wednesday and searched the house for other people. He then reportedly fired a shot as he drove away. Police spotted his vehicle at a Route 422 gas station. The pursuit ended when the man pulled into a driveway on Foster Drive and fled on foot. He was found in a retention pond at Trumbull Country Club. McClendon is the father of the woman's 2 daughters. A suspect in a deadly hit-skip crash in Niles faces a possible indictment. The case of 63-year-old Wayne Keeley of Warren Township was bound over to the Trumbull County Grand Jury Wednesday after he appeared in Niles Municipal Court for a preliminary hearing. He's being held in the county jail on $1 million bond. Keeley pleaded not guilty Tuesday to charges of vehicular manslaughter and leaving the scene of an accident. He's accused of striking and killing 67-year-old Brenda Hibbard Saturday night. The incident occurred at 5th Street and Indiana Avenue. Police say he told officers he fell asleep driving home from work and panicked after the crash. The Kent Police Department is remembering a former officer who recently died in Ukraine after volunteering for their armed forces. The department says 25-year-old Max Arnett was killed in combat August 23rd. The 2018 Dover High School graduate was a member of the Kent Department for more than a year, but eventually was moved to go to Ukraine to help with defending their country. Leaving in March, Arnett worked as a reserve officer in New Philadelphia before working as a full-time officer for Sugar Creek, Dover, and Kent before going overseas. A 19-year-old accused of killing another man in Cleveland earlier this year was arrested in West Virginia Wednesday afternoon. U.S. Marshals say the Mountain State Fugitive Task Force arrested Waymon Donat in Masontown. Cleveland officers responded after a vehicle crashed into a utility pole April 5th. Officers found a driver with gunshot wounds to the head and neck. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A preliminary investigation determined that people in 2 vehicles got into an argument that led to an exchange of gunfire. Detectives identified the suspect as Donat. The Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force later found that he was likely living in West Virginia. Donat is currently being held in West Virginia before being extradited to Cuyahoga County. The subject of a Cleveland area police pursuit took off down the road, a flash of orange in the darkness, but officers eventually caught up and grabbed the escapee, a runaway inflatable pumpkin as tall as them. Body camera footage shared this week by the Parma Heights Police Department shows an officer struggling to grasp the floored gourd as he describes to a clearly amused colleague how he chased it as it kept blowing away. Officers eventually squished the decoration into the back of a police car to return it to the home where it was displayed. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 46,358, down 243 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 19 points lower at 23,024, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,735, up 19 points. We have the following funeral announcement. The service for Glenna L. Zing will be held Sunday at 3:30 at the Firehouse Theater in Alliance. Arrangements by Cassidy Turkle Christian. It's 60 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Geoff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast calling for sunny skies this afternoon, a high of 61. Patchy frost overnight, otherwise clear, low 36. Areas of frost early Friday, sunny, a high 67. For Saturday, a 20% chance of showers in the afternoon, mostly sunny, a high 68. Sunday, a 50% chance of rain, partly sunny, a high 67. That's your WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
2-pitch. Got him! Jeff Hoffman strikes out Cody Bellinger, and the Blue Jays have done it. They have knocked off the New York Yankees. They have won their first playoff series since 2016, and they are going to the American League Championship Series.
Detroit has forced a Game 5. Pete Crow Armstrong delivers with a base hit to right. That'll score 2, and the Cubs have the lead in Game 3.
Run fourth, and now Schwarber, a high towering fly ball. That one is deep. Hernandez will watch it fly. It's another bomb. Kyle Schwarber has done it again, and the Phillies have busted it wide open here in the 8th.
Baseball is heating up. Football is on fire. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Get about a little less than an hour to spend with each other until 6 o'clock tonight. Thanks to Mount Union head football coach Geoff Dartt for joining us earlier in the program. If you missed that interview, it'll be up in podcast form on our social media platforms a little bit after the show is over tonight. So if you want to go check that out. Big high school football tomorrow. Whew. I was talking about it before we went to break at 5 o'clock. West Branch and Alliance tomorrow night, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Looking forward to that. We've got a ton of great ball games for you tomorrow. Our game on the AM is going to be great. It's going to be great. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, West Branch Alliance at West Branch. Live, Sam Bourquin Show at 3 tomorrow. Pregame at 6:30. Wonder what kind of concessions they've got over there at Clinton Heacock Stadium. I've not been there. Will I need cash? Will I need debit card? Somebody from over there at West Branch, let me know. What should I try out tomorrow?
Man,
I always like to give a couple bucks back to the school for their band or athletic department, whatever it is. I like to partake in the concession game, obviously.
Used to be a safe bet to bring cash. Now you just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Some places just don't take cash.
Yeah. I'll bring both.
Yeah. It's the only way to be safe at this point.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to being at West Branch tomorrow. 3 o'clock show, 7 o'clock kick. I'm going to go down on the field tomorrow when I get there. I'm going to check it. I'm going to soak it all in. Tomorrow. FM game tomorrow night, Lake McKinley, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Clint, Brian, and Ryan with the call. Q92sportsradio.com. Tomorrow night, we got 5 games for you. Listen to as many games as you want, as long as you want. For free, by the way. Louisville, Green. Jackson, Glen Oak, Perry, Hoover. Minerva, Marlington, Tuslaw, Northwest. Those games will all be on Q92radiosports.com tomorrow night. I still can't get over Perry Hoover. They are playing their 70th game against each other. I missed the boat on that. I thought this would be like their 55th game against each other. It's their 70th. Perry Hoover at Don Hertler Senior Field tomorrow night at North Canton's Memorial Stadium. That's always a good game. Perry Hoover's always a good game. 3-question Thursday quiz. Which game are you going to tomorrow night? Question number 1. Which high school football game will you be attending? Let us know. Question number 2. Are the Browns in full tank mode? Question number 3. At the top of your bucket list, what is it? What's the number one thing on your bucket list? Text it in 330-924-7088. Drop your comments on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. And you can also drop your comments on Twitter and our 1310 WDPN Facebook page. Or, what is this I see? Geoff Mears has brought in the forecast for Saturday down in Wilmington, Ohio, which we will be there for Mount Union in Wilmington, 1:30 here on WDPN. Mostly sunny skies with a high near 70. Winds out of the south between 3 and 6 miles per hour. Okay. That shouldn't be bad on the rooftop. You know what the best thing about this forecast is? The wind. No wind is good.
Oh, man,
you don't
yeah.
want your papers flying around. I mean, it's just...
No wind noise in the microphones.
Yeah, this is good. So that means... Yeah, it'll be upper 60s when we get going. And by the time we get done, it'll probably be around 70. That'll be perfect. Good work, Mears. Now make sure it stays that way. If it's not 70 and sunny when we're down there,
we're going after Geoff.
You're going to get it. You're going to get the Michael Myers treatment.
That's such a... That could mean so many things.
I know, right? I can't believe I went there.
There's like 15 movies that could be referencing.
And I just told the listening audience how many different ways you can kill people in horror movies. Mears is probably freaking out. You probably won't come back in here again. I take full responsibility for that. The thoughts and opinions are not necessarily a full expression of the working folks here at AM 1310 WDPN sponsors or its advertisers.
It will be very clear how Geoff took that if we have a 6 o'clock news or not.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, so we got some great games tomorrow night. Great weather if you're out and about tomorrow, as I was talking to all of you yesterday. Get out there and support your teams. Put your school colors on. Go out there and support the football team, the band, concession workers, the players, the coaches, people selling the programs, taking your tickets, or should I say scanning your tickets. It's week 8. We only got a couple more. We only got a couple more of these regular season games. So get out there and enjoy them, especially with the great weather. And it does make for a great atmosphere wherever you're going. The more people you get in there, the more students that show up, the more people from the town, the more people from the area. It makes for the Friday night what we all grew up with, and we love to keep that tradition going. Tom from Salem has checked in. Let me see here. Where is this stuff? Okay. Tom says, Sam, you might be surprised. West Branch has a really good defense this year. Held Canfield to only 200 yards, but gave up 3 kickoff returns. I can't wait either for tomorrow night. Come on up to the booth, Tomas. Come on up tomorrow and say hello. Tom probably knows about all the concession stand stuff over there. He goes to West Branch games all the time. He could probably tell me. He'd probably give me the whole menu.
Tom, why are you withholding information from Sam?
Yeah, come on. I thought we were boys. What are we doing? Cardinal Mooney and Warren Harding played tonight. I'll pass that along to you at Mollenkoff. I think Mooney will get that one. I think Mooney's. I think they've only got 1 loss, I believe. Mooney's having a pretty good year. Dougie in the PTO. Sam, here you go. Perry versus Hoover, 70th meeting all time. Hoover leads the series 46-23. Last year, the Vikings won 27-10. Last Perry win was 2020 when they beat Hoover 20-14. Perry's record at Memorial Stadium, 12-22. Let's see here. What else we have? Longest winning and losing streak in the series. Hoover won the first 12 games between the teams starting in 1957. Perry's longest win streak is 4. That was 2014 through 2017. Overtime games, there have been only 2. 1990, Perry wins 13-6. 2023, Hoover wins 37-34. Odd coincidence or a Twilight Zone moment? Uh-oh. Boy, Doug is reaching into the bag here. This is the stuff I love. Perry's first win over Hoover was the 13th meeting on Friday the 13th, 1969. Add in Perry's mascot is a big black cat. Perry wore all black uniforms that night. He says teams wore dark uniforms to the away games back in that era. That's interesting. Most points scored in a single game by either team. Perry scored 56 against Hoover in 2010. Hoover scored 49 in the meeting back in 2013. That's why I love our listeners. I just threw that out there. Yeah, 70th meeting between Perry and Hoover. All of a sudden, I've got a Wikipedia right in front of me. Thank you, Dougie. It's going to be a better game than some think. I'm telling you that right now. Perry Hoover is going to be a very tight game. Lance, West Branch is going to be a tight game. I think McKinley Lake is going to be a tight game. Closer than the experts think, as the great Lee Corso would say. I think that's going to be a great game. Will Jackson be looking ahead to McKinley as they play Glen Oak tomorrow night? Now, remember, Jackson is coming off a 40-37 win over undefeated Lake. This is the classic trap game. You just played in a game with 77 points. You beat an undefeated team. Next week, you've got McKinley, who you've had all kinds of trouble with over the years. And in between, you've got Glen Oak, who is 1-6. But I'm telling you, if you're not ready, Glen Oak is going to win another game this year that they're going to be counted out before it even starts. And I don't know if it's going to be this game, next week, or week 10. They're going to win. They're going to win another one. That's what they do. They're going to win another one. Louisville at Green tomorrow night. The Leopards are 5-2. Now the Green is a very deceptive 2-5. Very deceptive 2-5. I like their quarterback, Tyson Hunka. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think he threw for 5 touchdowns last week, if I'm not mistaken. I think Louisville needs to be careful. I think Louisville needs to be careful tomorrow night on the road. Coach Geist does a great job with Green. Leopards win though. That'll get them a few computer points. Get them to 6-2, and they finish up with Cincinnati LaSalle at home, and then Worcester week 10. I'll tell you what, Leps really need to win. They really need to win 2 out of 3. Preferably preferably all three. That would help them with their status as far as the region that they're in. Get them some more points, get them a little higher up the total poll a little bit. They beat LaSalle, they'll get a ton of points. Worcester's not going to give them a lot. Green's not going to give them a lot. Louisville, it would behoove them to win out. It really would. And then Massillon's at home again against Cornerstone Christian out of Texas. I don't know much about this Cornerstone team. I know they're 4-2, and we all know that they play high school football at a very high level in Texas, don't they? Who's the two storied programs down there? Odessa and Permian or Permian. They love their high school football down there. I think the Tigers can win this game. I think this Cornerstone team is like smaller. Like I think they might be like the equivalent to maybe like a D3 team in Ohio. But yeah, the Tigers need to. I'm not saying they need to win out, but it would be a good idea for them too. They don't want to fall too much further down the ladder as far as the playoffs are concerned. Should be a good night. Weather's going to be great. Hopefully some great crowds. We got great coverage here, 1310, and of course, Q92radiosports.com. Can't wait till tomorrow. And then it will only be down to two weeks of the regular season after this weekend. Man, say it isn't so. Say it isn't so. All right, on this day in sports history, 1919. You know where I'm going here. When you hear the date 1919 in sports, it can only mean one thing. The Black Sox scandal. All right, on this day, the Reds won the World Series. The win would be later tainted when 8 Chicago White Sox were charged with throwing the game. The incident, of course, became known as the Black Sox scandal. On this day in 1974, the Washington Capitals played their first ever game in the NHL. And on this day in 2002, the Los Angeles Kings retired the number 99 of the great Wayne Gretzky. There it is. On this day in sports history, we'll take a break. We got the news. We got the weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. And one more big half hour to go. Keep it right here. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. Israel and Hamas have agreed to a pause in their devastating two-year war and the release of the remaining hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. The breakthrough was greeted with joy and relief today, but also caution. Uncertainty remains about some of the thornier aspects of the broader peace plan advanced by the Trump administration. Those include whether and how Hamas will disarm and who will govern Gaza. The fighting has killed tens of thousands of Palestinians and reduced much of Gaza to rubble. President Trump is taking a victory lap at the White House today after the tentative acceptance of the ceasefire deal. It still needs final approval from the Israelis. There's no word yet on whether the parties would agree to a phase 2, which would address long-term plans for Gaza. At the White House cabinet meeting, Trump wouldn't go into any details about the negotiations for that phase. When asked by ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce, more from ABC's Karen Travers.
Mary Bruce, our colleague, asked some really important questions there because we heard the president talking about what phase 1 looks like. And we knew that because, of course, he announces with great fanfare last night. And the focus, of course, has been on the hostages getting released, which he said would be Monday or Tuesday. But Mary pushed him on what comes next in phase 2, because that right now is unknown and that could be complicated and that could take a long time. And we've seen negotiations before get through a phase 1 where some hostages have been released only to see things fall apart in a phase 2.
The state of Illinois is urging a judge to order the National Guard to stand down in the Chicago area. The state calls the deployment a constitutional crisis and suggests that President Trump's administration gave no heed to the pending legal challenge. Federal Judge April Perry is hearing arguments today. Members of the National Guard arrived Monday. Some are stationed at a Chicago area immigration building. A Justice Department lawyer says the Chicago area was rife with what they described as tragic lawlessness. He noted an incident last weekend in which a Border Patrol vehicle was boxed in and a woman was shot by an agent. Tesla is now facing a new investigation into its semi-autonomous driving technology. ABC's Mike Dubusky has more.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is now investigating Tesla's full self-driving technology, which the company says allows its cars to drive themselves under certain conditions. But the agency now says they've received 18 complaints of Teslas driving through red lights or into oncoming traffic, resulting in several injuries.
The investigation is expected to focus on whether Tesla drivers had enough time to respond to the system's errors and whether the cars alerted drivers. It's 59 degrees and Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Geoff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This afternoon's forecast calling for sunshine with a high of 61, patchy frost overnight, clear low 36, areas of frost early Friday, otherwise sunny, a high 67. For Saturday, a 20% chance of afternoon showers, mostly sunny, a high 68. Partly sunny Sunday, a 50% chance of showers, a high near 67. That's your WDPN weather.
Is this the song they're going to be playing in the Browns locker room Sunday in Pittsburgh?
I swear to God, I don't mean to do that.
Who's crying now?
I just pick music that sounds good in my head.
Wow.
I'm not trying to theme it to anything, I swear.
They could play this in the locker room. They could play it on the plane, the bus, the train. Here we go.
If you were talking about the Browns, though, it would be Who's Not Crying Now.
That's true. That's true. You know how many times the last several years the Browns and Steelers have played on the final regular season game, and that's when they always fire the coach. Like, it was clockwork. Not good. Well, probably won't happen this year because this is only week 6. And then I think we play the Steelers, I think, pretty close to the end of the year, which by that time, who knows what will or will not be at stake by the time these teams get together again later on. Welcome back to the program, 1310 WDPN, streaming live, AM 1310, WDPN.com. Browns traded Greg Newsome last night to the Jacksonville Jaguars for Tyson Campbell. It was pretty well thought that Newsome was not going to be coming back next year because his contract is up. Campbell is also in his 5th season in the league, but he signed a 4-year, $77 million extension before the 24 season. So I don't know how all that's going to work out. The latest power rankings this week. Cleveland Browns are 24th in the NFL. It says Dillon Gabriel couldn't lead the Browns to a win, but he played very well considering some very tough circumstances. Given the multiple rookies who are making key contributions, the Browns should feel optimistic despite a 1-4 record. They were actually 25 last week in the power rankings. This week, they are 24.
I can't believe somebody managed to write a semi-positive review about the Browns.
Well, I don't know what this guy's looking at.
He was reaching. He was over there just trying.
8 this week, Jacksonville at 4-1. Trevor Lawrence may be turning out to be who we thought he was going to be. Green Bay Packers come in at number 7 this week. Broncos are number 6 in the NFL power rankings. The Colts are number 5. Daniel Indiana Jones is getting it done. Wow. Technically, the Colts should be 5-0. They should be undefeated, but they had a couple brain farts against the Rams. Your top 4 in the power rankings, and I got a couple of nuggets I'm going to drop on you about the number 4 team, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Listen closely. Baker Mayfield, 1,281 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, 4 game-winning drives already. He is in the MVP conversation. How about Baker and the Buccaneers? 4-1. This article says it kind of reminds you of the 1980 Browns, the 1991 Falcons, the 11 Broncos, and the 2024 Chiefs, of how they are winning games at the end. Here's the time remaining for the game-winning score in the Tampa Bay 4 wins this year. 59 seconds left. Took the lead. 6 seconds left. Took the lead. 2 of their games have ended on the final play of the game. They're the first team in NFL history to win 4 games by 3 or fewer points in the first 5 games of the season. It says here they're giving their fan base a collective cardiac arrest every 7 days. Are the Buccaneers great? Are they good? Or are they a little bit lucky? You be the judge. I think they're pretty good.
Sounds like a good with a dash of luck.
I think they're they're making their own luck. Making their own luck, as they say. Now, they host the 49ers this Sunday. Tampa's a 3.5-point favorite. The total is 47.5. I might want to try to watch that game. That should be a Fox game. Nope, it's a CBS game. Now, the Browns play at 1. Maybe they'll give us that game here for the second game of the doubleheader. I don't have the Sunday ticket. And I don't have Red Zone. I have to watch what the networks give me. I would not mind watching the 49er. You know what? I'm not going to get it. You know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the Bengals. Well, that might be fun too. Maybe. Because we're in Ohio, they're going to show us Cincinnati, Green Bay. Unless that's a Fox game, then maybe I'll get the Niners and the Buccaneers. Let's see. Nope. CBS. Doggone it. Okay, I'm going to lose out on that. Back to the power rankings. So Tampa Bay is number 4. Philadelphia is number 3. It says, still we wait for the 2025 Eagles to play a complete game. Still waiting. Number 2 in the power rankings this week, the Buffalo Bills, who come in 4-1. Playing well, but need more consistency. Come back to beat the Ravens. They held off the Dolphins and the Saints. But then they lost to the Patriots at home on Sunday Night Football. Number 1 team in the NFL power rankings, no surprise here, the Detroit Lions, 4-1. How about this offense? They've scored 52, 38, 34, and 37 in their 4 wins. Whew. 52, 38, 34, and 37. That's pretty good. And their defense isn't bad either.
We got a YouTube comment from Ryan Brayler talking about the Browns Steelers, I think. He said, I think it should just be give us just 1 victory and we're on our way since we haven't won there since I was in high school.
21 years.
That is just unfortunate.
21 years. And I am not counting the COVID playoff game. You can count it. Somebody else can count it. I don't count it. It's been 21 years since you've beat Pittsburgh in that building.
Everything that happened during those 2 or 3 COVID years, none of that. All that was just crap.
Yeah.
Well, just that stuff
in more ways than one.
That stuff just doesn't count. That was just a dark time for humanity.
Elsewhere, the bettors are hammering Pittsburgh now. Steelers are now -6.5 against the Browns on Sunday.
Sounds like I should put $20 on the Browns just in case.
You're going to go with the contrarian theory. You're going to go against the public, which is usually a good move.
Look, I mean, $20 is $20.
The public doesn't win.
But if so minus what, 29? So you said put $20 on that. I'm not good at math, but
well, if you want to put $20 on the Browns, you can.
Oh yeah,
you can
plus.
You can put $20 on the Browns plus 6.5.
Okay.
And if they cover, your get back will be 40.
Okay.
If you take the Browns on the money line, if you take the Browns on the money line, that's just to win the game. You're not getting any points. If you just win the game, they're at plus 230.
Holy crap.
You could turn that into a couple $100.
See, there you go. You either lose $20 or you make $200-$300.
So there you go.
That's
not telling you what to do, but just throw that out there.
That's what I call hedging your bets.
Rest of the NFL schedule this week, don't forget, there is a game in London, of course, at 9:30. The Broncos and the Jets. Denver -6.5. Cardinals at the Colts. Indy is giving 7.5 to the Falcons. The Rams at the Ravens. I don't think Lamar's playing this Sunday. I don't think he's going to play. You know why? Because the Rams are -7.5. That's why. Seattle is at Jacksonville. The Seahawks are -1.5 down in the Duval. Chargers at the Dolphins. The Bolts are laying 3.5 at Miami. Boy, do I trust the Chargers on the road? Maybe. Cowboys at the Panthers. Dallas -3.5. Patriots at the Saints. New England -3.5. Titans at the Raiders. The Silver and Black laying 3.5. Well, that's a garbage game if I ever saw one. San Francisco, Tampa Bay. We told you the Niners are catching 3.5 against the Bucks. Bengals at the Packers. Oh, Joe Flacco. Green Bay is -14.5. Folks, that's a lot of points. Sunday Night Football looks like this could be fun. Detroit Lions at the Kansas City Chiefs. KC -1.5. The total is 52.5. And we got another doubleheader for Monday Night Football. 7:15, the Bills at the Falcons. Hey, both teams are wearing their throwback uniforms Monday night. Oh, those are sharp. Falcons are busting out the old red helmets. That'll be fun. And then the 8:15 game, Bears at the Commanders. By the way, the Bills -4.5 at Atlanta. The Commanders -4.5 at home against the Bears. So that's the lineup for the NFL coming up this weekend. So we got games on tonight. We got a game tonight. Philly, Giants. Sunday, we got a full slate. Sunday night, we got a game. Monday night, we've got a doubleheader. So lots of pro football coming up here this weekend. College football this weekend. You got Ohio State at Illinois. That's the noon game on Fox.
I'm glad you said that, Sam. So we have a Facebook comment from Matthew Luther about that.
Okay, what's
he
Matthew?
He says, I hope that Ohio State beats Illinois at Illinois, and I hope that Perry wins over Hoover in football. Sam is the coolest, best guy, and a great friend. I just love this young man. He always makes people smile.
Oh, Matthew, I appreciate
thank you, Matthew.
the words. Thank you, bud. Matthew's a good dude. When I was doing substitute work at Perry Local last year, Got to meet Matt. Matt's been working in the Perry system for several years now. Great young man. Great young man. Buckeyes are minus 14.5 in Illinois on Saturday. Some of the other big ball games this weekend, the college football. Hey, Toledo Bowling Green going to get their rivalry back rolling. That's a nooner. Toledo at BG. The Rockets are minus 11.5 there. Florida State Pitt. That's garbage. UCLA at Michigan State. Just by name, you would think, oh, that's a great game. Not really. Alabama at Missouri. Look out, Tide. I like Missouri this weekend. They're getting 2.5 at home against the Tide. I really like Missouri a lot. Akron's at home against Miami of Ohio. The Red Hawks, which used to be called the Redskins, they are laying 11.5. What else we got here? Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. Texas and Oklahoma. The Red River rivalry at the Texas State Fair. That's a 3:30 kick this year. Usually that's a nooner. 3:30 this year. Texas minus 1.5 at home. Arch going up against Boomer Sooner. Oklahoma's ranked number 6 in the country. That'll be fun. That'll be a 50-50 game. You watch. Might even be 60-60. Iowa State minus 2.5 at Colorado Saturday. Come on, Cyclones. Well, they had a rough weekend in Cincinnati last Saturday. Come on, Coach Campbell. That's a dangerous game, man. Colorado at home getting points. Watch out. Notre Dame is home against NC State. Irish are big favorites there, 22.5. Indiana at Oregon. This is a juicy game on Saturday, 3:30 up at Eugene. Indiana's ranked number 7. The Ducks are ranked number 3. Oregon laying 6.5 at Autzen Stadium. My guy, A.J. Sarbaugh, head coach of the Fairless Falcons, the biggest Oregon fan I know. He'll be watching that game on Saturday. Tennessee against Arkansas. The Vols laying 11.5 at home. Florida's at Texas A&M Saturday night. Aggies are number 5 in the country. They're giving Florida 7.5. Wyoming is at home against San Jose State. Now, the only reason I haven't bring this game up, did you see what happened in Laramie, Wyoming last Saturday? I posted some photos on X and on Facebook. They had a snow/hailstorm before the game last Saturday. There was sleet, snow, hail, and then a double rainbow. Happened in like 45 minutes. It is great.
It's good to know that stuff like that happens outside of Ohio.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better.
Because, what was that, September? Was it October last week? Yeah, it was October. Like the first Saturday in October, we had our first snow game. It was great. Number 15, Michigan is at USC at the Coliseum Saturday night, 7:30. That'll be fun. That'll be a good game. Georgia, Auburn Saturday night. The Bulldogs are minus 3.5 at Auburn. Ooh, Texas Tech hosting Kansas. The Red Raiders are minus 14.5. They're number 9 in the country. Don't sleep on Texas Tech. Don't sleep on Texas Tech. Arizona State at Utah. The Sun Devils are getting 5.5. And that's it. A couple other games late, but not of major importance. Unless, you're financially invested. All right, 8 minutes until the top of the hour. We'll take our final break. We'll come back. We'll start to wrap things up here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Text line is open for you, 330-924-7088. You can still take part in the 3-question Thursday quiz. Question 1, which high school football game are you going to tomorrow? Question 2, do you think the Browns are in all-out tank mode? Question number 3, what's at the very top of your bucket list? You can get those answers to us here during the break, and we'll read those on the air. We'll step out. We'll be right back. Stay with us. 1310 WDPN.
Join us this Friday at 7 for kickoff as the Alliance Aviators take on the West Branch Warriors. Sam Bourquin will have the live play-by-play action for you here on AM 1310 and streaming live worldwide on the Q92 Radio Sports Network. The Aviators against the Warriors this Friday here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
This isn't a haunted house. It's a haunted factory. The Factory of Terror in Canton is now open. 5 blood-curdling haunts under one roof. And when you think you've survived, 5 killer theme bars, if your nerves can handle it. Over a mile of fear, no safe zones, no turning back, every corner, something's waiting. Get your tickets now at FOTOhio.com. Factory of Terror, where the fear never dies.
It's the perfect time of year. Somewhere far away from here.
It is the perfect time of year. October. Weather's changing over a little bit. Fall foliage will soon be coming into effect. Football season, baseball playoffs are going on. It's a great time of year. College football, pro football. This is a good time of year. It's a great time of year. Welcome
Sam,
back.
I think you're in denial about fall.
Uh-oh.
You keep saying the fall foliage is on the way.
You don't think?
It's here.
All right. See, I haven't hardly seen any.
Okay, so I don't have a screen in my window, and that's neither here nor there. I don't care about that. But I have a tree across the street, and I swear to God, September 1st, I had an orange leaf fly in my window.
September
1st.
I haven't seen a lot of changing colors yet. I
Correct.
haven't.
My neighbor's yard, my neighbor has 3 trees in their yard, and I would say those trees are all about half naked.
Just completely gone.
Just losing leaves already.
Oh, see, I don't like that.
It's a
That
it is a
brings
nightmare.
me down quicker than anything. But all of our trees are still green.
That's crazy.
All the leaves, pretty much, our whole neighborhood. Now, what's the story with that? Is it when you get less rain, it will the tree, the leaves will be more colorful, or is it the more rain? I'm not sure how that works. The whole photosynthesis and all that stuff. Because all I know is when it rains and it's windy, the damn leaves come off the tree faster. And
I know that.
I don't like that.
I don't really know what determines the speed at which they change color, though, either. So
I know there's a formula there.
Oh yeah, I know there is too.
I was taught that years ago, but I don't remember.
Yeah, see,
what subject would that have been?
Biology? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, biology in high school.
I apologize to Mr. Hershon. He was my biology teacher at Central Catholic, and he's probably shaking his head right now.
Oh, I don't remember my biology teacher's name. I'm sorry.
About botany and Acer rubrum leaves and all kind of cool stuff.
I liked psychology, so I wasn't.
I didn't take psychology.
No,
I did.
Class.
Or was that philosophy? I took philosophy when I went to Walsh University. I took philosophy.
Oh, I would have loved to have taken philosophy.
3-hour class, man. One night a week.
I love boring facts about history.
Once a week, I had philosophy. Dr. Oh, man, on the tip of my tongue. He's still there. He's still teaching. My professor is still there. I used to run into him at the North Canton Y every once in a while. Can't remember his name now. Doggone it. He's a great teacher. Look, if you expect me to sit in a classroom for 3 hours on a Thursday night on campus, you must be pretty good. Because usually Thursday night was quarter beer night up at Akron or Kent. Okay, so you kept me in my seat for 3 hours on a Thursday night. You were a good teacher.
Yeah, especially a quarter beer night. Holy crap!
Oh yeah,
that's a distraction.
Quarter beer night.
How do you get anything done knowing that exists? Especially like in today's economy, quarter beer night.
Yeah, you pay your. I mean, I don't believe there's any quarter beer nights anywhere on
oh
any
no,
college
there
campuses
can't be.
Now.
There can't be. People would be dead.
You hear what the deal was. Here's how they got you. You had to pay a cover to get in. And it got you on your quarter beer. And then if you went the shot route, like you were paying $5 or $6 for a thimble full of a shot. So that's how they got you.
Mm-hmm.
They saw us coming a mile away. Right? We couldn't wait to hand our money over.
I mean, for quarter beers, I'd pay like a $10 cover charge at the door.
We did.
That's still a good deal. Beer is expensive.
Sam, the leaves change color due to lack of sunlight over time. Huh.
I'm really angry at myself for not knowing that.
The leaves change color due to lack of sunlight. Well, we've had a lot of sun, so maybe that's why. But we had one ugly day this week. That was Tuesday. I'm just trying to stretch the color changing as long as we can. I just want to hang in there as long as we can. I love the changing of the leaves. Love it. It won't be long. I'll be out driving around. I'll just be taking pictures of the leaves. And I'll be posting. Sam, good luck at the West Branch Alliance game tomorrow. We'll be tuned in. You guys do a great job. You and the FM do a great job with high school football. Appreciate all the coverage. Sometimes I can't get out on the weekend due to work. Appreciate all you guys do. Thank you. Phil says, hey. Phil says it's bring your own pepper spray night tomorrow night at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. Come on, Phil. Jesus. That is funny, though. All right. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg. Great job, as always. On the other side of the glass, thanks to all of you for participating today, and we will do it all over again tomorrow. 3 o'clock right here on AM 1310 WDPN, live from Clinton Heacock Stadium, the home of the West Branch Warriors tomorrow. Cannot wait for that. Go Bucks, go Guards, go Cavs, go Browns. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.